So not too late, eh?
Hey, we're live. There you go.
Let's hope it's not too late.
But
we are live from various parts of the world. Live from London, live from Indiana, live from also London, but not here at the moment, and live from Essex, the posh bit of Essex, probably. I don't know. It's us. We're here, old farts, to talk randomly.
We've got New Mexico in the chat, so
yes, New Mexico. I'm not sure where Stephen Spock is from, but he's in the chat as well.
Well, Spock
I don't know.
Is
I
from,
saw a dog in Indiana the other day.
Falcon. And where's Steve from?
I don't know.
Well, you can never be too sure if it's Steve or Spock that's chatting to us. It could. I think Steve is a human and Spock may be a dog, but you just never know who's actually in the chat. It could be the dog. It could be Spock tapping his paws on the keyboard. That's a possibility. All right, Nevs is back. If he turns his music off, I'll turn his microphone back on. Right, your microphone should be working.
You're right. Oh, yeah.
We're all right.
How's your neck?
What are you talking about?
How's your neck?
Not much. Wildfires in Canada. Whether dogs can type comments, things like that.
Sounds usual.
Is your sound gone?
1 2 1 2 testing 1 2.
Yeah, never says.
All right, cool. No, because it was showing up that your mic was fine. Yeah, now it's showing up here because my thing's so slow. It was showing up as you still being muted, and I thought I'd unmuted you, and I could hear you talking, and I thought, has it remuted him? But that's right, we can hear you. All good, all good. How is life treating you, sir? We can hear you. We can hear your dulcet tones.
Oh well,
and we're hoping that you're going to have an impromptu poetry off with Kyle later. Kyle's got a poem. We thought maybe you could have a poetry off, like a transatlantic poetry tournament. You versus Kyle,
like a slam or something I've written.
Yeah,
you've written
anything off the top of your head, you know.
I mean,
all right.
Since my mom was on last week speaking beautiful poetry, Sunday I was inspired to write this beauty.
Is it this Hogan streak that you're tapping into at the moment?
He's doing that for ages.
Oh, okay. I was not aware of the.
Yeah, he loves his Hogan poetry.
Literature.
Now,
he certainly does.
These are all English words. I mix in no Vogon.
That's the best word.
This is Nancy. This is Nancy.
All of these words will
Millstone Jennings quality poetry here.
Yeah.
Okay. If you hit that standard, Kyle, you've achieved.
If at any point we get bored, and we don't know what to do, I have got some comics that I've got recently that I could show. Ooh. But I don't want to bother the Geeky Weekly stream by showing comic books. I know it's not normally the done thing here.
And I've got from Mark and dug some things out. I wanted to tell Mark.
Risky proposition, but sure, we'll talk about comics on a comic show.
We could
Mark,
do.
I almost got a hold of you at 3 a.m. your time until I realized that it wasn't what I thought it was. It was off by 10 years. So this one particular comic-related piece of ephemera, I still have the only known copy of. I thought a second one came up. I was going to get with you and be like, got to get it. They even cut me a deal, but they missed it by 10 years.
Oh,
okay.
So
what is this item?
I have no idea what he's talking about. How did you miss it by 10 years? Did you travel into a...
They do bound volumes of things, and I have the...
Who is they?
Yeah,
old magazines and things when comics and cartoons were at their earliest, be it Punch magazine or things like that over there.
Right.
And St. Nicholas here in the States printed the first issues of the Brownies, which is considered the Brownies #1, or the Brownies Ride, is considered the first official comic book adaptation.
All right.
In 1883. I have a bound volume copy of that. And I thought I found another one. 40 years of looking, I've only ever seen one, and I own it. And I thought I found another one yesterday that was a short print bound volume.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't 1883, it was 1893.
10 years off.
This is the only time in my years of comics that I would find myself in a place where I would say this. That is a thing that probably should be slabbed.
It's a book, though. It's literally a book.
Well, I've seen videotapes slabbed recently, so
Yeah.
it strikes me that anything that is
I do
basically
have an
slapped, you can
1896
slap it, right?
I do have an 1896 proper Brownies comic book.
Yeah, but
That
to
one
be
pointed out.
fair, Nevs, it has been slabbed. That is the Victorian era version of slabbing. Was actually binding it, binding
Right?
it in leather.
Yeah. If only they knew they had that to look forward to in the Victorian era.
It's so
We don't
rare
have
and so
penicillin, but in the
scarce.
future there'll be plastic.
It's so rare and so scarce. No single issues are known to exist. And I've only ever seen one bound volume that has that. Now, people have it. And you can find volume 2 from 1883, which has the later issues. But in 40 years of searching the world, I've only ever seen one.
Oh, interesting. Well,
Go on, Mark. Go on eBay and find 2 for sale right now.
He did that. He did that with Punch. He got an original Punch.
Yeah, I've got a feeling I had the home advantage with Punch.
And
Unfortunately, with the Brownies, I do not have home advantage.
I imagine Boris will be selling his copies soon because he'll be broke. What the fuck?
yeah.
Sorry, I blacked out there. Not me, the laptop. I'm just going to go switch the light on because I appear to be a bit dark.
Okay.
The easy way to put it is Punch is the beginning of cartoon history. They say Obadiah Oldbuck is the first in bound comic history, but the first lasting characters, which went on for 100 years, came out in 1883 officially.
That what's his face? Donald Duck should have a character called Obadiah Old Duck.
Yeah,
Definitely. It sounds like it's a Daffy Donald Duck character.
We might have an argument about this because I claim Ali.
Not you, Mark.
well,
It's not me. No, I am not the oldest comic book character. I know I'll look it, but
I don't remember saying
now
that.
when did Sloper come out?
1864.
Continuous and printed, and well, then there you go. Then it's Ali Sloper, and then it's like to the Americans, it's the Brownies, and if because Ali Sloper never caught here.
No. Well,
just like Obadiah Oldbuck. But if Ali Sloper caught there, then it's globally it's Ali Sloper.
Yeah,
but
I know that there is a lot of arguments about it.
Well, and it is placement, but it is all in that same time frame. Same generational time frame where all that stuff, the wheels got rolling and one influenced the other. But when it morphed from single printing plate things to actually stories attached to them and the word balloons, they still attribute the first word balloon story to the Brownies, which came later.
I was listening to a podcast.
I have a weird interjection to make. You're not gonna. I don't know why this is true, but it is, right? My PS4 doesn't respond to my voice, but it responds to Kyle's.
Okay.
So the music I was playing, because I forgot I was doing the show, to be honest, is the most recent Jesus and Mary Chain album. And yeah, I had it on pause, and I'm gonna have to switch it off again. And Kyle's voice reactivates it.
Okay.
It doesn't like my voice though.
It doesn't recognize
when he starts his poetry.
It's an American
my microwave will go off.
That's because Kyle has got some robot in him. That's why.
Yeah.
That's right. He's sent from the future.
Right now, you want to see?
Not really.
I left the anal probe in.
Yeah, we know.
There we go. Not even 20 minutes into the show, it's gone anal.
Yeah.
Not even 10 minutes in, and it's gone anal. So. I kind of wanted to wait for Bill, even though I could reread it again. But if you guys would like, I'd be happy to read my short.
No, you're not allowed to read it until Bill's here. He's got to suffer as well.
Exactly.
Right.
We don't want we don't want to give you an excuse to read it twice. Like read it to us, and then when Bill comes, try and read it again because that's we don't need two lots. In fact, Bill's here now. We'll leave him in the back for a bit, so there's no reason for starting But I was listening to a podcast this week, and they were saying that when Tintin first started, it was the big thing because I hadn't seen it before because it had speech balloons. The first Tintin was kind of like introduced speech balloons into Europe. Apparently, they were saying something like that. Anyway, I probably picked up something wrong on what they said, but apparently that's what wowed everybody in the first Tintin comic books. Tintin in Russia or whatever it was.
Bill's on the road.
Back to the police.
Hey, it's an outskirt shot from the
There's
beautiful
Bill. He's been
one.
arrested.
Bill's on the road.
Bill on the run.
I'm on the road.
Kazoo.
I'm driving while I podcast. As I get into a wreck, probably with my luck.
Bill's
I
getting
need to. I can do this. Look what I can do. Can you even see me now? Barely. But hey, guys.
No, I can't see. You're bloody loud, though, mate. Can you dial it down a few octaves, decibels, whatever?
Why are you Danny Trejo
Too
this
loud.
week?
How's that?
That's fucking awful.
Is that what? Can't see you
Bill's
still,
gonna
but
take
yeah.
it to the
it's a bit
Alamo.
bad.
Am I still on?
This is a hell of
Still
a
on, yeah.
You got to give him that.
Yeah.
I am?
You're on.
Okay, sorry.
Mike's
I won't
What
say much.
planet are you talking to us from, Bill? Have you returned to your people? Is that
No,
why you
I'm
sound so weird?
currently in Lowest Lobovia.
Right now.
No, I'm like 5 minutes from my house. I had lunch with a buddy of mine, who we used to work
Why
together
do you
years
come back
ago.
home when you're not in the car?
Okay.
I don't want to miss anything. I just won't talk till I get home.
Bill,
Yeah.
you'll be glad to
Maybe not
know
then, if you can help
we
it.
just stopped Kyle from reading his poem because we wanted you to suffer as much as we do.
Oh well, I'll suffer. Just go ahead, Kyle.
No, it's breaking up.
No, not while you're driving. It's not safe.
Yeah, I'll wait.
No, okay. I'm hands free.
You're already 10 minutes late, mate, so you're already missing stuff.
So you're not going to take us on a drive by the Alamo, Bill?
No, I'm nowhere near the Alamo. I would if I could. I know you took me to your most famous place in your
I
town.
know how litigious you Americans are. I don't want you on my...
Please don't make this your final broadcast because it'll be ridiculous.
I'm hands free.
Yeah.
I shouldn't show you I'm hands free while I'm driving, but I'm hands
I'd
free.
like to say now that I do not condone... I don't condone him being on our stream, in case any lawyers in the future
If any young
try to sue...
Bill is an idiot. Don't imitate him in any action.
I'm driving fine. I have a holder. See, I have a holder. I have a holder here. I'm fine.
Are you,
You
have
sound
you got
awful,
a
hey.
self-driving thing, Bill?
Hey, Bill.
He's doing it off his...
Is this like... Do we need to hold some kind of intervention? I'm really worried about Bill.
Hey, Bill.
I feel like this is like the last bit of footage before he goes on the run with a machine gun.
We're breaking up.
I'm like 2 minutes away from the house. I'm like so close, and my hands are free.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
they should be on the wheel, shouldn't they, you maniac?
yeah.
My hands are free.
Hey, Bill. I'm wondering if your holder is
I
not.
just ran a red light, but my hands are free.
Hey, Bill.
I believe your hands are free. Please stop doing this. You're
Okay.
making me nervous.
Please, Kyle, continue with
His
your
hands are
phone.
free, but his mind isn't.
Hey,
No,
Bill.
that's
Is your
what-
Oh
holder
crap! Now I
naughty?
can't hear anybody.
Yeah, come on in.
Is your holder naughty? Are you running away?
Free your mind.
Let's
and
just
let
focus
follow,
on
Bill.
the comics that Mark is showing us, and not.
Okay,
That's
I
great.
can't look right now, but I'll look when I get home.
Oh, nice Green Lantern. That's what you got that on Saturday.
That's
Sunday.
Neil Adams. I need that one.
This was a free one I got at the last con, the last mart I was at. Some guy told me I owed him 15 quid for it. He's not going to see that money, I tell you. Oh, I just remembered.
Hey, I need that one.
Damn.
And of course, this will be
I shouldn't have announced my intended crime when he was sitting there watching.
Yeah.
I may not get away with this.
Oh, that was mine as well.
Not now
brave
you've
and bold.
confessed it on camera.
This-
Apparently, this is crime.
I know this one I traded with Mark. This one was the perfectly
Yeah,
legitimate
that was
one.
fair. That was fair trade.
Yeah. Ah.
I don't know. You need to put that Green Lantern Green Arrow on my pile.
Get out of
I mean,
town.
he's already committed a felony taking it, so you know, I feel the least he could do is donate it to you. Ooh,
That's mine. I didn't think I was going to be able to get any more of my Green Lantern run because they were expensive ones. I thought they were all expensive.
Speaking of donations, Nevs,
yes,
you said you had a How to Draw Comics the Marvel way that you were going to donate to my grandson.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Just next time you cross paths with Mark, could you get it to him?
I will have to hunt it down like the dog it is. Like what you see behind me is probably about a seventh of the amount of stuff I'm sorting through at the moment. Slowly, because obviously
this is a great one. This one, I love this one. There's a human being captured by parrots or something. Here's your new pet, dear.
Swallow. It's an African.
Let me out of here, you bird brain. How wonderful it talks.
It's an African swallow. That's how many can carry it.
This one, the subtitle is Buggered by the Budrigars. This one, I think.
Buggered by the Budrigars?
I think so, yeah. I think that was the subtext of the title. I'm not sure if it really was what they went with in the end. But
I think it's a fine subtext. I think.
Oh no, sorry, it's Prisoner of the Parakeets, not Buggered by the Budrigars. It's Prisoner of the Parakeets. I remembered it wrong.
Fisted by the
evil cobra. Apparently, aggressively relaxing, had a French exchange student come to live with them in the 90s, and he brought with him Tintin books. I loved them, but no one else knew what the fuck I was talking about when I brought them up. I don't think I've ever read a Tintin book, but I do love.
Look, I have comic-related stuff too. I'm actually going to talk.
Cool one. Look, got some nice Superboy books. Lana and Superboy as mummies in sarcophagi. What's going on?
It's certainly.
Why are you saying it's eggs? Easter is gone.
Oh,
it's
God,
M&Ms.
Part of the poetry, isn't it?
It's Easter M&Ms.
This is later on in the stream.
Kyle.
We all have to take a guess at how many he can fit up his back passage. So we all put numbers in the chat. How many you think he's going to manage? And the closest to the total wins the rest of the bag. There may not be many. There may not be many left. It'll stay in one place.
Is this show happening, or is this one really long painkiller dream?
Yeah, both.
Cool.
Comics. Look, guys, comics.
I've heard of these comics.
You can go chat amongst yourself. You haven't got to concentrate on my comics. It just gives me something to focus on. I can show comic books. You guys can talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about.
No, I think actually focusing on some comics might not be the worst direction for this show to take. Like Maverick, but
Black Hawk. I quite like these Black Hawks. I've not had any for ages. I mean, I never got them before, really. What? Mark's got one of them. He picked it up at the Mart.
That's certainly a comic.
This is one that Mark gave me. Kind of exchanged this one for the sorcery one, didn't we?
Yeah. That's nice.
What? I shudder to ask because I know I'll get the answer. What was that bondage comic you just showed us, Kyle?
Unsacred #1.
Unsacred.
There we go.
Yeah, I was very happy to finish off my Hawk and Dove run. I managed to get first Hawk and Dove for £10. I was well chuffed.
No, it's not really Hawk and Dove. It's not by Rob Liefeld, though, is it?
Yeah, I do like the Liefeld actually, because that was when I first started Hawk and Dove on. One of my earliest series that I bought from number 1 to the end was the Hawk and Dove run of the 80s, and I loved them characters.
I remain of the thought that Cole Kessel is a massively underrated writer. I thought his stuff on Superboy,
I liked his stuff.
The stuff where Superboy just goes, I'm not hanging about in Metropolis. I'm going to go fight crime in Hawaii, where the babes are and volcanoes. It'll be great. That's good fun.
Yeah. And then Superboy. I've got that one.
I thought it's the Rich autograph comic.
Very nice.
I'm trying to let Bill back in, but it seems to be taking its time.
You know if that's a good idea.
Comes.
Like, does your gut
so we're not on what not? Mark, start doing these. You are legit enough to have those. You are legit enough to have those.
What's
you
he
should
got?
get a Suddenly Comics COA for comics you get autographed because you're legit enough to do that.
I might do that. I'm going up to Thought Bubble this year. I might do my own authentication.
You're plugged into Heritage and everything. You'll end up being a Heritage or CCA authenticator anyway. You should be able to do that. So.
Bill, you are a textbook case of something today. I don't know what the case is, but my God, it's all happening.
It doesn't seem one of them. Oh, here he comes
Have
again.
you just killed someone? Look at the anxiety in his face.
I can't even see him
like
yet. He's not come up for me yet. All I can see is a swirly screen. I've got a Hawkman that I need. This is Conan 119. But to me, it looks like an older one. The art looks like an older Conan. I wouldn't have thought this was over.
A reprint issue? Marvel used to do
maybe.
that a lot.
Yeah, it could be something like that because he certainly looks like an older run of Conan somehow. Later on, this kind of era, the art isn't quite as.
Yeah, it's a lot more 70s looking than you'd think.
Yeah, I've got a feeling I already had one of these. I don't know why I ordered it for, but never mind. It cost me £1 or something, so it won't break the bank. Like this, I didn't really need. I've got them anyway, but it's the first 4 issues of Night Force, which I thought was a good run. I quite like the Night Force stories. I got all 3 seasons of them.
Those 100-page spectaculars were great. I don't know why DC stopped doing them. They put in all kinds of cool stuff in those.
This is the first 4 issues of the first.
Here's some trivia. Where was that first 4 issues of Night Force first printed?
Where?
America, Canada.
Yeah, somewhere.
Those aren't actually the first prints of those stories. Just so you know that. Night Force 1 through 4 are not the first prints of those.
Was it a backup story somewhere?
They were printed somewhere else the summer previously.
They did that
in a magazine, the back of a magazine, maybe. Like.
No, I know what
called a Conan or something.
DC put together the Kevin Maguire and Keith Giffen Metal Men backup from Doom Patrol into one of those 100-page spectacular things. There was a point where they were doing
they were much smaller. They were much smaller.
Do you mean those Blue Ribbon Digest?
And they came in a case.
Oh, okay. It's probably
with
where Bill
video
is right
games. They came in a case with video games.
What, Night Force? Why did they come with video games?
Video games.
Night Force had a video game.
Are you sure? Yeah. Why did they come with video games?
That was an Atari
Night Force.
Game.
Wait. Night Force from DC had a video game.
Yeah, we forgot it, mate.
I'm thinking of Atari Force.
You're being truth adjacent again, mate. You're being truth adjacent again.
You're an amateur. You know nothing. I said it all along.
Yeah. What a hack.
Oh, nice. I like the t-shirt. Nice t-shirt, Bill.
Me.
I'm really worried about Bill.
You guys need to
like just like that.
Like rein everybody in.
Bill, I'm
look what's happened. I'm 23 minutes late.
There he is.
I love that.
Did you forget to close the window in your car, mate? You're looking very windswept.
It's been like a one-man play.
Bask in my...
Who, me? No, I left. I rolled the windows up.
Yeah, you.
Oh, right, you look like you had your head out the window like a dog going along yapping.
You can read my scribblings.
You look like you look
you guys all sounded like
back up my butt.
I had to turn it off.
Then you were walking through
your house like
you were trying to find a murder weapon.
Sorry.
Hey,
hi,
Chris,
Mark.
Take a break.
This is not helping.
Hey, buddy.
Take a break.
Right, you do your
poetry.
Hi, mate.
Okay.
Is it poetry time?
Hi, Kylie.
I think it's poetry time, guys.
I've just got to go and turn.
I'm still annoyed about
Quizmaster in the universe. Nevs, how the hell are you?
You guys inspired
Mark
I've got to wash my hair, guys. I'll be back in about 50 minutes.
Guillermo del Boy. Oh, I like that.
What about if we all stop talking except for one of us? Okay. Maybe we should have like a stick.
Pray silence. Pray silence for Kyle's Poetry Corner.
Oh, look, I didn't mean
maybe I should do. maybe I should sound the trumpet for Poetry Corner. Let me just get the trumpet ready
it's
for
worthy of the
sounding.
trumpet.
That doesn't want to work.
It is worthy of the trumpet. It is very worthy of the trumpet.
Let's go with the. There we go. Here's the trumpet. Here we go. Oh no! What's happened now? My bloody well thing's gone weird.
We're going to keep doing this until you
Again.
start.
There we go. Here we go. Who is it? Yeah.
Right.
God, my hair looks like shit. Thank
Kyle,
you.
go. The
If it
stage
will
is
work.
yours. The audience is
hippie.
ready.
Guillermo del Boy.
Oh, right.
No, I don't think it's going to work. I've tried pushing the button, but it's not doing anything.
It worked.
Wait. Oh,
I did it. Oh, good.
I
Okay.
wondered where that was going.
I got 2 of them. It worked
This is
well.
like-
I explained it.
Through my butt before. That's interesting.
Yeah, it
Right,
worked
that was the horns. That was sounding the horn for Poetry Corner with our poet in residence.
I get it. It was they were
Yeah.
tooting. Yeah.
Since
Yeah,
my
Killer
mom was
Kyle
on
from
last
outer
week,
space.
since my mom was on last week and regaled us with some beautiful poetry, and I am an actually published poet in 3 different continents, legitimately, but you won't think so with this.
Oh, we already don't. But yeah, please
Let's
go
do the
ahead.
preamble.
The
More of the
title-
poetry, please.
The title and the first line came to me just thinking of you guys, and I thought I'm going to save this for the show.
Keep it
It's
called-
It's called
You call My
Bask.
Wet Dream.
Yeah.
Shh, let him finish so we can get this over with. I'm getting no. I mean,
Yes.
so we can be enlightened.
The longer we
So
delay
can
this.
be enlightened. I'm so
I
sorry.
may have to read it twice. This
No,
has
just
potential
once.
to be
Once
a
will
song
be
too.
far enough.
What? Really? What did I do to you?
All
Once
right.
is enough. The Bond
All
movie
right.
we didn't
Are
think
we
we
ready?
needed. Look at that.
You ready?
Look at that.
Are we ready?
Yes.
This is called Bask in My Butt Sauce. Okay, and if you like it,
I just ate. I don't feel like basking in your butt sauce right
Yeah, go
now,
on.
but I can't.
All right.
wait to
I'm ready,
hear what
Kyle.
it's all
Ready?
about.
Go on with asking your butt.
I just told someone we had a great podcast. Well, I should have done that. Yeah,
Has he finished yet?
It can only go downhill from it. It can only go uphill from the title, surely.
Okay, it'll go uphill from the
I
title.
don't think we deserve to go uphill.
The title is Bask in My Butt Sauce.
We got it.
First line, here we go. Existential mayonnaise. 2 hearts beat as 1 boner. Rejoice, pickled diphtheria. Antiquated in love and logic. Befuddled by normality. Touch, too much. Discuss. Eloquence eludes me in times of stress, because why wouldn't it? Ask not what you can do for your hemorrhoids. They don't care. Forsooth, say it with me. Bask in my butt sauce.
Wow. Can we have your mum back?
Yeah. This reminds me of that Eddie Murphy thing about prison poets, where he looks in the mirror and he goes,
Kill
You
my
guys-
landlord.
"My life sucks.
C-I-L-L.
My life sucks. Kill my landlord. Kill my
You've got
landlord."
a beautiful reading voice, Kyle. It's really lovely. I really like listening to you read. It's just something in the material that's not attracting me.
Well, and Johnny, I read that to Johnny earlier today because we were talking earlier about the smoke getting down here. It's cleared up a little in Montreal and it's hitting us down here in the jet stream now. But yeah, I am a legitimate, speaks to the soul guy.
Yeah.
It's tongue
The
in cheek.
arsehole.
And he's like, come on now,
The
you need to
arsehole.
really write stuff.
Yeah, it's tongue and butt cheek.
But
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we do have to like call it like it is.
20 points.
Yeah.
I thought the first couple
Not
of
that
words,
my tongue will ever
existential
go there,
mayonnaise,
but-
I thought,
Yeah.
okay. And then it got worse from there, is my view.
Yeah.
But started strong.
I don't know
You
if it
did.
is a rule of
And
poetry,
ended
but I
with
feel if a
hemorrhoids.
poem involves a condiment, it's probably not going to be very good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I can't think of any of Shakespeare's work that began with mayonnaise.
I don't think it was invented yet, but he does have several verses that include aioli. So
okay.
What aioli do I see before me? Forsooth. So
Phil, I've worked it out. Okay, bear with me, right? So
Maybe
since I started doing this, your set has been creeping me out. I couldn't work out why, and now I know. It's because the way that the light is set up from what's behind you is exactly like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when the dude's walking forward and he's about to come through the door.
Totally. And I never thought. Oh yeah, no.
Is that intentional?
It freaks you out. No, I see it. And I'm only 75 miles away from there. Where
one, that occurred to me, and two, I thought we should move on from the poem and just get on with our lives.
So I do want to say this.
The way a writer's mind works, you talk Shakespeare, and I've already come up with the title of my next one. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern reach around. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern reach around.
Reach around. Tom Stoppard's already done that. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. I think.
I think
this is their reach around.
Guildenstern are undead.
They're behind the scenes and they're reaching around each other, and they're stroking each other.
Because if they were zombies, they
stroking
could,
what?
Pull their arms out and
reach around. Wait, what? When did we go? No offense, folks. Gay? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, nothing against anyone who is. I'm just saying, reach around with you guys that are Shakespearean characters. Gray had to leave. Gray doesn't want to be associated with us right now.
When I see existential mayonnaise,
has had enough. I can't blame him.
You're killing me, Kyle. You're killing me. No, we don't want to see your butt.
I mean, I'm on a lot of painkillers to do this today. Do you understand?
Yes.
Hey, no, come back. We were just kidding.
I think I need some now. Yeah, I need some right now.
Yeah, I know a bloke.
So it's the three serious comic historians here now. Let's really talk about comics. I feel like I'm serious.
What if you slabbed like the comic Astroclops? Okay, bear with me. I know this is mental, but you know, like with the Astro tabs, you have like comic characters drawn on them. What if you
thank
slapped
God
them?
he's back. He didn't get a ceiling turn.
The smoke is drifting into here. I needed to get my books out of the garage for now.
Oh wow!
And since it was mentioned,
I think if you like,
I've rewatched that a few times.
Mayonnaise in them, you're probably not going to be.
Well, you can't get a better cast than that, can you?
No, you can't. This is a brilliant movie.
I don't
Tim
think
Roth
I've seen
is
that.
one of y'all,
and it's got all the extras. I got all the extras in it.
One of y'all's greatest imports.
Oh.
I love Tim Roth. You know what I rewatched the other day, and I realized how good an actor he was. It'll freak you out, but The Incredible Hulk. He was a great Abomination.
Oh yeah,
he was fantastic,
and he's back.
And they are bringing him back.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, he was in the She-Hulk series. He was in the She-Hulk series,
and he's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, and they actually gave him the fins finally. What?
Bill, did you share this? Apparently, She-Hulk is not canon anymore. Like She-Hulk is deleted.
It's not that. It's that they may not do it. I took them down because I think a lot of people didn't understand, and I didn't communicate it well. They will probably not be doing the second season. However, she probably is still firmly entrenched in the series. I thought they were writing her off entirely, but these incel groups were totally against her when her show came out last year and just lambasted it, and it still did pretty well from what I understand the ratings, although we never see the ratings. It did really well. So I just wish there was a season 2.
I can say that time and time and time again. Fuck the
I haven't seen She-Hulk because obviously Disney don't get any of my money forever for everything, really. But it did strike me as intriguing that the two shows that Marvel have done have had the greatest backlash have been Captain Marvel and She-Hulk. And the common denominator of those two is
because fans don't like strong women characters.
Because women are bad, apparently. Women are just bad. That's what that get taken out of context. Right up as a meme somewhere.
Well, these guys that women would never have sex with anyway, and they're pissed off that they won't have sex with them because they smell like burgers and they like their underarm odor smells like charcoal hamburgers, and they're ugly and they just aren't great people. I mean, that's not. I mean, that just means that. What's that?
Who are you talking about?
No one here.
The incels.
Well, incels.
Yeah.
Those crazy guys that are misogynistic pricks.
Because women won't have sex with them because they're too gross to have sex with. It's like, dude, you're your own.
There doesn't be a correlation.
There have been massacres over here because of these stupid idiots. There was one where like 20 women were murdered, and it's just like. I don't know why anyone even stands for them to even be part of any dialogue anymore. But, you know, of course, I'm sure there are a lot of comic fans that are incels, you know, because I know a lot of comic fans that can't get laid. But
fuck the comic fans that are incels. Fuck them.
Okay.
If they ever treated my daughter that way, I'd club them like a baby seal.
What is it? Sorry, what is an incel?
It stands for.
It's a contraction of those two words, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're very
they can't
angry about it.
They can't help it.
They're very resentful
because no one will have sex with them.
Right.
I mean, yeah, and it's a movement.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
It actually is. It's a frightening thing. It's like the worst
it's a frightening
elements of humanity found a voice on the internet, and anything that isn't a degradation of women is inherently bad and has to be shouted down according to
any women online that act like they know the video game industry or the comic industry are immediately like seen as enemies.
Wow.
It's in fact,
there's
women have had to get restraining orders against these guys and everything just for being out there and doing what any man could do. You know,
these are the kind of guys that
the inherent contradiction of all
mother.
This shit is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. What?
Kyle, go ahead.
Go on, Kyle.
I was just saying, any of these men get in the presence of my mother, my wife, my daughter, my granddaughters, my nieces, I will beat these men within an inch of their lives unapologetically.
Well, I mean, and I
get that.
Pacifist. I get that.
No, it's a fine sentiment, and I can only agree with it. So
I thank God I don't have any friends
that amuses me. Give me a second here, guys. Okay, so let me get this out. So here's the thing. The thing you find with guys who are resentful of women being around video games or wrestling or comics, it's all the same mindset. You can replace the fandom with whatever, right? Is the accusation is always these ladies are pretending to do this, to be into this, so they can get male attention. And the lack of self-awareness that is necessary to jump to that conclusion is like someone is pretending to be into all this stuff so they can get the attraction of 300-pound Gavin or Hank in their mum's basement. You know what I mean? You're like, why would they want your attention? You're an incel. That's where biology has placed you on the food chain.
Well, I'm glad to say I don't think we've got most of us. I don't think this group is in the UK. I've not met any. I mean, about 40% of my buyers on what.
Oh, you have. Oh, my friend, you listen to the conversations that go on at the same show that we go to.
Everywhere.
I remember the week that 4 #1 came out when it turned out a woman was 4, basically, to cut the story short. The amount of sweaty Star Trek T-shirt wearing outrage that was going on. It's like, how dare this happen? How dare a fictional deity not be male? And you're like, what? On so many levels. Just the levels of things that annoy people. And I always get pissed about this because the comics industry is not short of injustice to get annoyed about. I mean, just this week, right? The Kirby's reaction to the Stan Lee infomercial, the use of AI is secret invasion, the continued argument about the Kirby's treatment by Disney. If you want things to be annoyed about that are actually happening in reality, the comics industry is not short of targets. But to go like, so for it's a woman, you know, man the pitchforks. You're like, what reality are you in? You know, it's not like these comics are real. But you get the impression it's like they seem to think it's like an invading force. You know, like we're normalizing women being competent, so one day they will be viewed as competent and not. I don't even know what women are in the mindset of these fucks, right? I don't know what they're meant to be. I think they're meant to be like some subservient cocoon breeding concubine beast that can be sent to the kitchen to make sandwiches and fucked for more children, and that's it. I think that's basically what the role of a woman is in the mind of the incel. Because that's the only reason I could see why the work of someone like Brie Larson could be generating this much hatred, unless you actually thought women shouldn't have any degree of autonomy or agency or any kind of voice. I've got one again, haven't I? But you get my point.
One of the youngest women to ever win the Academy Award, and yet she's treated like fodder. Like, why did they hire her? You know, and she doesn't fill out the costume the right way. I thought she was fantastic. I still do. I think she's one of the best.
How is that even in the first place?
Yeah, it's just nuts.
So the thing I think we don't really think about a lot is a load of these costumes were designed by either people like Wally Wood, who I don't think is slanderous or even libelous to say, I love the dude, but he was a massive fucking pervert. Right, or you had people like Eric Stanton.
He admitted it.
Ditko with designs. These dudes were really frustrated, horny men. Nobody knew this stuff was going to be filmed, right?
All of his wives that I know about all look like
the fact that some women don't fill out the fantasies of these.
I mean,
perverts.
Hey, Mark, do you have that copy of Subliminal Tattoos near you?
I don't.
No?
I do have it though with the Wally Wood Disney
what?
thing. Yeah.
Whoa! What?
Have you ever seen Wally Wood Disney Memorial Orgy?
Yes.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
With the Wally Wood Disney.
It's horribly bad in some respects.
Disney didn't even sue him over that. But Wally Wood's Disney Memorial Orgy, I sent a copy of that to Mark out of Subliminal Tattoos.
I just love that. I that's one of the.
It's really funny.
You know, what's his face helped him work on that.
And he never got sued. They didn't sue him.
They didn't care. They considered it enough parody.
I know, right?
They didn't care.
Did he? Was it for sale though? Was it a thing that he was selling in some way? Was it a print or a poster?
It was a blacklight
poster. It was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But first it was a regular poster.
What do you think Disney?
He didn't make a fortune off of it, and it really was underground, so they didn't care.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't.
It sounds like the sort of thing Disney doesn't care about. I mean, the whole Disney and the AirPods thing would make you think. I mean, what was the point of an underground comic? You know.
Well, you know, so in many ways, people like the guy who had the studio with Ditko, Eric. Can't think of his name.
Stanton.
Eric who?
Eric Stanton.
Yeah, Eric Stanton.
Eric Stanton.
The stuff they did together was very underground, but it was blue underground. And underground, even though it's blue, a lot of it's blue with women's bodies. It's not really considered blue.
It was bondage, wasn't it?
Yeah. Stanton was all bondage.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of money at that. And he made more money than Ditko did doing the things that we all remember.
Really?
Yeah. He made a lot. Yeah.
And I think Disney learned their lesson from Air Pirates Funnies because they sued a guy that didn't have any damn money. So they spent a fortune to get nothing.
Right. And all those guys, and there were 4 cartoonists that got sued. One of them was Bobby London. Now, Bobby went on to draw Popeye. And then Bobby lost his job because he had this whole storyline where Olive, Boss Patch Kid, and Teddy Ruxpin called Baby Bluto. And so it's a little baby Bluto, and she gets it, and she almost immediately wants to get rid of it because all it does is say bad things, you know. And so these these guys that are kind of like common day priests or people that people are supposed to look up to, pious guys, overhear this outsider door, and they don't ever say it, but the entire storyline is about abortion basically, and how she wants to get rid of this baby and stuff, and they're all freaking out. Now this is the 80s. If they had allowed the storyline, it would have gotten backlash, but it probably wouldn't have gotten as well known as it did because they fired him for it. But if he's put I'll send you guys the story. It's fucking hilarious. And it goes back to the original Thimble Theater ideas that anything can become anything if someone mishears things. And especially like the Popeye strips, everyone is constantly misunderstanding Popeye because he can't talk right. So it's I don't know. It was just a great strip. And he did a wonderful job. He took over for Bud Sagendorf, who took over for Seeger. So he was only the third cartoonist to do Popeye.
Yeah.
But he got really raked over the coals over that, and it really makes me sad. And he was one of the original guys that worked on Air Pirates, Nevs.
No, it's one of those comics I've managed to download copies of because it's on Internet Archive, right? All of the really good underground stuff is on Internet Archive. So if any of you watching have an interest in Disney and the Air Pirates, Zap, Snatch Comics, Felch, Hop, all of that stuff, it's all there. Like,
that's cool.
The people who actually care about stuff like that have done a really good job of actually making sure that it's archived in a way that people can access it. Not making the allegory for slabbing here, but if you want to read Disney and the Air Pirates, you can. It's very easy and it's free. So you made me think of something, which was, you said the thing about mishearing. It's one of the great screw ups of history, actually. And I've heard this a few times. I wasn't there, so I don't know if it's true. But Karen Berger and Dick, is it Giordano? You pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Okay, so they come over to the UK in the mid 80s, and they're basically on a British talent invasion search, right? So they're looking for more Alan Moore, essentially. Swamp Thing's done really well. So they're like, well, if that guy can do that, what else is sitting over there? So that's how I think they pick up like Grant Morrison and Neil Gaiman and Dave McKean, all of those good guys that, revolutionized the business in the 80s.
Boland,
right. So I'm sorry?
Brian Boland?
I think Boland was known to them before because of 2000 AD.
Right. Okay.
I think by the time they came over, they'd already started planning the Killing Joke, but it wasn't the Killing Joke then. It was just a Batman.
Oh, no. You're forgetting something major. Boland was already working for them in the early 80s because Boland did Camelot 3000.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Which came quite a few years before Killing Joke.
Yeah.
And he was already doing covers before the Killing Joke, too. He'd probably already done a couple hundred covers for DC.
And was he doing that from the UK? Was he sending them over there?
As far as I know, I don't think he ever moved, did he?
Ages. That series took like 3 years or something to do, didn't it? At least it took about 2 years to complete. Because issue 12 was like a year.
Right,
after
took forever.
11.
Well, it took. Okay, here's how you know it took long. It took even longer for issue 12 of Camelot to come out than the 12th issue of Watchmen.
Yeah.
And the 12th issue
we
of Watchmen
were really annoying the Americans back then. It's like you can have these really good comics eventually. So Gaiman's
that's
pitching
why
stuff.
Marvel made Bill Sienkiewicz finish all the artwork for the Electric limited series before they would publish it. And so
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
And Bill was totally glad with that because he goes, that made me push to get it out. And he goes, I made so much more money finishing it in their time frame than I would have otherwise, because he said basically people, even on Watchmen, people lost interest after having to wait 9 months to get the last issue.
It's a phenomenon that I think ought to be taught to anyone who wants to work in comics, is no matter how good you are, and I've got a perfect example to back this up, if you are not putting out your thing regularly, people will stop caring because there's always other stuff.
Right. Do you know the best
like
example?
Danger Girl, right? Danger Girl, big hot thing that came out from Cliffhanger, right? J. Scott Campbell was on fire with that book. Like everyone went in for everything. Issue 1 came out, cool. Issue 2 came out a bit after. 3 was really late. 4 was so late that they had to get in like extra covers just to kind of go, please stay interested in this. We've got a Joe Maduro cover. By the time it got to issue 7, which I think was like 5 years later, everyone stopped caring. Same thing happened to Battle Chasers. Same thing happens across the board. And the best example of this is, because I know I was working in 2 stores at once when this happened, right? Sandman Overture. Sandman Overture, the first new Sandman material in 20 years with J.H. Williams on the 3rd on art, right? Issue 1, I mean, both the shops that I worked for are closed now, so it doesn't matter if I give you these numbers. We ordered 200 copies of issue 1. All right, so to give you some perspective, an issue of, say, Amazing Spider-Man, we probably order 150, right? 200 copies of issue 1, knowing that all the casuals who weren't there every week, they would be intrigued by Sandman Overture and go, oh, fuck, I remember Sandman. It was so late at the end. It was like at least 3 years later, we went from 200 copies of issue 1 to 20 copies of issue 6 because everyone just stopped giving a fuck. Yep. Nobody is immune to that syndrome. From Neil Gaiman downwards, if you do not keep that stuff in the public's eye.
No, Alan Moore downwards. I mean,
right?
If you consider him higher than Neil Gaiman, I don't know if
I do.
Anymore.
I do. I mean, the thing I was going to say actually is,
go Mark.
Imagine if Kevin Eastman had put that policy that you suggested about Electro Assassin to Bill Sienkiewicz with big numbers. I reckon the world would be a fucking different place because they said to Bill, draw all 12. Right. Then we will solicit issue 1.
Right.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
And it's, and I burn bridges saying this because a lot of my friends are artists, but the fact of the matter is, especially with the corporate comics, especially when you've got things like, say, a Final Crisis or a Secret Invasion, where you're not just delaying the book, like not the Ultimate, Civil War is a really good example. Not only is the comic late, right, and that's already a bugger for the retailer because they've spent the money. So now they're like, well, I can't make this money back. But with things like a Civil War or a Secret Wars, the spin-off titles also have to be delayed because they contain plot elements that can't be revealed until you clear up.
It tears down the whole chain.
So Civil War 4 is late. Then the knock-on is that Amazing Spider-Man has to be late. Fantastic Four has to be late. Captain America has to be late. And it's a really not a good situation. Like, it's always the worst thing you can do as a comic creator is not have the work in the can before you solicit it.
Okay. So
Mark,
I've got the best example.
Sorry, I will get off the soapbox. I do have
of this now, and you will know this one. This is Strange Haven. Strange Haven was begun in 1995 by a guy called Gary Spencer Millage.
It's a beautiful,
absolutely fantastic. Okay, the artwork is good. He wrote it. He did it, self-published it, and you were lucky if you got an episode a year. Right?
Wow.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Great art.
Oh, it's really good.
It's gorgeous. It's currently being serialized in a anthology called Soaring Penguin called Meanwhile.
That's gorgeous.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
It's
really photorealism. It's photorealistic.
To be fair, sorry, I'll shut up.
It's like Twin Peaks meets Coronation Street.
Yeah. There was rumored to be a Netflix show of it coming.
Yes,
soon as well.
It was optioned. I spoke to Gary. I interviewed Gary a couple of years ago. He lives in Southend,
Indiana.
By the way, the story arc has just finished. So it took 28 years.
So to be fair to Gary,
how many issues in
I know
28 years?
Well, right? It is a different set of circumstances where Gary's main job is being a teacher, right?
And he's a graphic designer as well.
And he's a graphic designer, but his main source of income is not Strange Haven. Otherwise, the poor dude would have starved by now.
Well, he had to stop it being his main source of income.
So it's not like
how many issues, Mark?
Corporate chain.
It's complicated because he did about, how many did he do? I think he did about
like 20 odd.
Hang on, I'll tell you. There's
It
about
is a
80
complicated publishing procedure because he did a certain number of issues himself, and then a publisher
he self-published. He
has an anthology
self-published and
meanwhile.
then stopped, and then somebody else started putting it in as part of an anthology about
The
10
anthology
years
is called
later.
Meanwhile.
So
A friend of mine organises that. It also that anthology. I'll try and find you some copies. Also has serialized stuff by David Hine and Mark Stafford.
Yeah, really good.
So
yeah,
it's really good stuff on the whole.
It's very good, but it's very irregular.
It is really irregular, and that's less excusable because it is actually published by a publisher.
Yeah.
Well, it is rough when it's irregular on the whole.
I've heard you have that problem, Kyle. A lot of your poetry appears to be about you being irregular.
Yes. Well, in a couple weeks, I got to go get probed again to find out if my cancer resurged.
I swear, 20 seconds ago, you
got all clear on cancer,
and now
for 6 months at a time.
Okay.
Praying for you, buddy.
That's how it works, 6 months at a time.
Yeah, I mean, the other nice thing is because this goes over 28 years, his art style changes. Okay?
Does it get better?
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the problem with that is
just like
therapist did.
It really is amazing stuff now, Bill. I'll probably send you a copy. I mean, it's just.
That'd be fantastic. So remember how there's several people that were like this, but in fact, even Barry Smith was kind of like this because at the beginning of Conan, the art wasn't quite where it needed to be, but by the 6th or 7th issue, it was gold. Oh wow! And so
apparently, if we talk about things tonight, they will just be literally sitting by my bed.
Wow,
beautiful. It's beautiful stuff.
But similarly, you had Dave Sim that came in with Cerebus 1, and if you've ever seen those first 10 issues,
yeah,
the artwork wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
No.
You know, and then, but then suddenly overnight, he was even doing comics with Smith, and they were both I mean, Cerebus started way late, 6 years later than Conan, but you could see a natural progression. However, you know, Dave's stories and the way he told them, Cerebus is still one of my top comics of all time. Although people always throw out the word misogyny when it comes to him, and a lot of other things. And you know what? I know him well. He's all those things, but he's so much more. And we were talking a couple weeks ago about that Alex Raymond book.
Yeah,
you know,
great.
The Strange Death of Alex Raymond.
And Glamour Puss is where that first showed up. But that stuff was, I mean, that's some of the best graphic storytelling, honestly, I've ever seen.
It's phenomenal.
I have
a question for you to ask Dave.
I heard you guys, before I came on the show, I heard you guys talking about Tintin. Oh, yeah, that's great. That is great.
Since we're topical on incels and psychos, there's Ed Gein, the inspiration for Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh my
Kyle,
God,
is that a William Stout cover?
I do believe so, yeah.
10 points, Bill. Bill, I have a question for you to ask Dave Sim, because I'm quite intrigued about this. So I was working in a comic shop, unsurprisingly, when Glamour Puss started, right? So we got the preview copies of issue 1. And it was a special package, and there's a little note on it, and Dave's going to lambast me for not getting this entirely correct, and I might be misremembering, but he suggested in the note that it wasn't just comic shops that were getting copies of Glamour Puss #1. There were also like fashion magazines that were being sent it as a kind of like, you publish Vogue, anything by Condé Nast, therefore you're probably interested in Glamour Puss. And the idea of these fashion magazine houses just having copies of Glamour Puss 1 spread out all over the place, and a kind of like, I don't know what this is. I will give it to my assistant and they can deal with it.
I see where he was going with that.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense to do that.
It does make sense.
The artwork. Look at some of the artwork there that Sim was doing, where he was imitating he was trying to do the dresses and the of the girls from the 1930s that the great artist has done. So it was quite glamoury. The first part of that
I have a copy of Glamour Puss 1 up there. I'm guessing we all do.
I don't.
I have almost every issue. There's one issue I'm missing, and of course, who fucking stocks Glamour Puss? So I never seem to be able to find the missing one.
I couldn't even find any at Comic-Con last year. I was so disappointed.
I'm a step behind in topical, but there's the first comic book on abortion done by all women.
Oh. I'm fairly sure that's on Internet Archive.
I
might drop a link. I'm going to send a link to that to Mark, and hopefully you can put it into the links in the video afterwards. Because I think it's a really
you keep calling Graham Mark. That's Mark. You keep calling Graham Mark.
I do that, don't I? I'm so sorry. I don't know. Sorry.
How could you
I don't know why I do that. I apologize.
Look at the what me worry.
Thank you for calling me out on it.
Oh, that's
what me
sorry,
worry,
Mark,
baby Jesus.
It's okay, Kyle. I'll let you off.
Yeah, Kyle and Bill.
Thanks,
yeah,
Barry.
we look a lot alike. Well, wait. Now we do. Hey man, let me smoke a cigarette.
And then before I run this thing inside.
Sorry, Kyle.
Before I run this thing inside, since I got it out. Now, of course, I could read my poem again. I know everyone wants to.
Please no.
We're not short on material.
You can only have so much of a good thing. It's been like overdosing on morphine.
It's like, what if there were like 1,000
What is that?
ones of Glamour Puss?
St. Nicholas.
Oh, is that the original?
These hardback brownies, I think.
Until someone shows me otherwise, the only issue 1 still intact.
Wow.
That has issue 1 and 2 still intact.
I'm sorry.
And again, I thought I found another one.
The only one intact. I'm sorry. I thought that was funny.
I thought I found another one, but I didn't. But that's as far as I know, the only issue 1 still intact.
Right.
And the only time I've ever thought about letting that out of my hands is the.
They were sure they sure bound comics better back in the day, didn't they?
Well, they were 8-page weeklies.
You said issue 1. I was trying to be funny.
Yeah, but there you go. But yeah,
it's like a hardbound book.
This
is issue 1 of Spider-Man in 1876.
It's going to you, Mark.
Thank you very much. I would appreciate
anywhere other than a museum.
It would fit very nicely with
I'm going to show you guys a thing, and you have to work out why I'm showing it to you. Okay.
You're going to show us your thing? Hold on. Let me get this thing indoors. Because if you're going to show your thing, I want to see it.
Okay.
I normally charge that kind of thing.
I'm so like, why am I on this cast?
Carl's gone. Quick. Oh, it's a
mag. Wow.
Okay.
Why do you think
I've put this up?
Is that Haley? What's her face from Captain America? Oh no, it's not.
Mondo Hollywood.
Mondo Hollywood. Oh, that's Denise. Wait, who is that?
Okay, so here is my shameless shelling section, folks. So, as you may have seen on the internet, I am putting together a book of Mondo Funny Books.
Yes.
The reason it's called Mondo Funny Books is 2 reasons, actually. When I first went to America in 1995, I think, right? It was a stupidly long flight. I apparently went the wrong way because we went via Phoenix to San Diego or some kind of nonsense.
No, that happened. No, you didn't.
Anyway, it's not important. It's not important, Bill. It's not important. So I step out of the airport at something like 4 a.m., having been awake for too long, and was confronted with a copy of Details magazine. And the first issue had Shirley Manson biting the face of Gavin Rossdale. It was like the all rock issue, and it was $1. I was like, okay, this is already a ridiculous situation. And I discovered Details magazine that way and thought it was fantastic, and still do. So I kept on getting it from various import shops. The most famous one being the Cinema Store, which was like a film magazine shop in the West End, which charged like £20 for a magazine that was $5 or something. So I kept collecting this thing. Yeah. Cinema Store was a huge rip-off merchant place now. They've closed down now, so it doesn't matter if I say that. And if you are watching this, Neil, fuck you. You charge too much for your stuff. Anyway, so this came in. This was Mondo Hollywood, and this was the answer to the question I didn't know I had yet, which was, how would I like stuff I do to look? And it's how I discovered, give me a sec, if I can give you a good example of the aesthetic that this contains. So this issue was kind of a tribute to the guy who wrote Hollywood Babylon, who was, remind me, guys, who wrote Hollywood Babylon? Lucifer Rising guy.
Wasn't Wilder, was it?
Scorpio Rising. Sorry?
It wasn't Wilder, was it?
No, it wasn't Billy Wilder. The book Hollywood Babylon. Oh God, it's one of my favorite books in the world. Anyway. So
I've got that upstairs. I have no idea.
I knew that at one point. I
don't know why I blanked on that. It's like one of my favorite books, and the guy just died a few weeks ago as well.
I've got it upstairs. I have no idea.
Okay.
Mark's
anyway, I can look it up while I tell the story.
Mark's our reference officer. Did you look it up, Mark?
So I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Hollywood Babylon is the title of the book. So it had this kind of gossip rag look, and everything had kind of like was framed with film reels, and it was typed, and it looked like it was on some yellow stuff.
Who?
Kenneth Anger. Thank God that would have driven.
Oh! I have to tell you something real quick. So my friend Mel Burkant, and Mel is a wonderful toy designer, and he created these toys in the late '60s, early '70s called the Outer Spacemen. And they were fantastic. And they actually went with the Major Matt Mason, although they were two separate toy lines. Well, he was a very close friend of Kenneth Anger. And he's been reflecting. Are you okay, Mark?
Yeah, fine.
You look like you're crying, Mark, to be fair.
He's been reflecting on Kenneth Anger the last few weeks since he died, and has all these beautiful personal pictures and stuff. And I never would have thought he's like a major toy. They were both major toy collectors together, and so Kenneth Anger became very close friends, and he was really distraught about it because Anger was a major director. I mean, he changed cinema forever in a lot of ways. Yeah, which I didn't know. I didn't know as a film guy. I'm not a film historian. I'm a comic and animation historian, but as a film guy, I got my degree in film. I was so shocked that I didn't know more about him, like until I just learned about Kenneth Anger in the last probably 3 years because my nephew got into him, and I knew some of his movies, but I didn't know his name. But what a great guy, and what a great intellect. And Mel just says he was the nicest guy in the world.
So the reason that Kenneth Anger is not more well known, for want of a less mangled phrase, is he wrote the books Hollywood Babylon, which were essentially the creation of that kind of behind the scenes tabloid stuff. Like if you read magazines pre his books and they talked about film stars, they would always be quite deferential to them. Like you would hear Errol Flynn had perhaps slept with a lady who he wasn't married to. And Kenneth Anger wrote these two books, Hollywood Babylon 1 and 2, which were like, so I think he might have been the first person to properly document the Fatty Arbuckle scandal, like actually lay it all out and say, this is what
he is.
And his books are all like that. They're all like, these are, I don't care. I don't know who these people are beyond what I know about them through stories. They're not my friends. I'm just going to write all of this completely salacious stuff. Like if you read like the National Enquirer today, it's basically following the formula that Anger invented via these movies. So Mondo Funny Books has, up until this point, been written with the understanding that a lot of the people in the industry have become my friends, right? But now, I'm not saying I'm intentionally burning any bridges, but there are a lot of stories that I haven't told. So Mondo Funny Books is going to be a collection of things I've written for Bleeding Cool, for Fantasy Advertiser, for Tripwire.
So they're not going to be illustrated? Stuff. They're going to be strictly prose?
I'm working on that because
I'll draw one of your stories. I'm good. I'm serious. I'll draw one. I'd love to.
I only have Tripwire number 1. Did you write for that, Nevs?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I only have Tripwire number 1. Did you write for it?
I did write for Tripwire for a bit, and I don't give a fuck anymore. So I stopped writing for Tripwire because I did a story about the 10th anniversary of Image. And one of the points I made on it was that they had come out guns blazing at being very anti the corporate structure and the exploitation of people. But then it was juxtaposed by these weird moments of hypocrisy where the books that weren't the top tier creators were cancelled, like in the first wave, like the Shaman's Tears and the Wild Stars. All the books that weren't by the Image 7 that they could cancel, they cancelled them. And then there's that horrific issue of Spawn where they're hyping up the new toys that are about to come out, the first line, and to generate excitement for these Spawn tires, Tom McFarlane runs some pictures of people working in a Chinese sweatshop. I was like, hang on, mate. Like, you can't be like, fuck the power, fuck the system, and then become the system within less than 2 years. Yeah, I mean, there must have been better ways of generating these toys. And if you're working on creating new solutions to humanitarian errors in the comics industry, you can't then perpetuate them in the toy industry. And then the guys who run Tripwire got a bit like, that might cost us interviews down the line. So they rewrote it without telling me that they were rewriting it before it was published. And that's why I don't write for Tripwire anymore. So it's going to be full of stuff like that.
Fuck 'em.
And I've been writing for a long time. So I thought this was going to be like, I'm going to have to pad this out. There's actually quite a lot of stuff. Most of it is fairly inflammatory but passionate.
No, I've read a few. I read a few of the online.
That's just
ones.
like you, though. You're fairly
I really
inflammatory.
enjoyed them.
Well,
so
I do not
think
get
it
up and say,
translates,
who will
right,
I
Mark?
piss off today? Right?
Mark
I don't get up
agrees.
and say, who can I annoy? But I feel
Guillermo
like telling the truth.
Oldroyd agrees.
I'm sorry, Bill, I didn't catch that. Say that again.
I said Guillermo del Oldroyd agrees.
Yeah.
Mark,
Do you know who Del Boy? Do you know who Del Boy is, Bill?
who killed who?
Do you know who Del Boy? Do you know who Del
That's
Boy
the best
is?
mishearing of the day.
Okay, I still can't hear what he's saying because Nevs is laughing so hard. What did you say?
Do you know who Del Boy is?
Del Boy?
Yes.
Put a
No.
penny in your pocket. I've got some makeup in
You've
the
never heard
van.
of? Okay.
If
No,
you
I've
don't
heard
know
of
Have you heard of a television series called?
Have
Have you heard of a television series called Only
man.
Fools and Horses?
Because where it all comes from is a
I can't hear
mystery.
over Nevs.
Lots of
I want to
finding
hear this,
different
Nevs.
kinds
Quit
of
singing.
signs of the sea.
Have you heard of a television series called Only Fools and Horses?
No.
But here's the thing that drives me berserk.
So you've
Why do
got a
only
whole-
fools
you
and
need to
horses
watch some. I am going to send you some links to some clips
Okay.
from Only Fools and Horses. Okay.
Is it
Today
a comedy?
they re-educate the man who
Probably
worked
the
with
best
David Lynch
British
about Rodney
sitcom.
Trotter.
In the last 25 years.
Wow. Never heard of it.
There is a
See, I learned
beautiful
so much doing
Batman
this show.
moment that we should
Yeah.
send to him.
Is that a broom? Is that a cinnamon broom on your door, Kyle?
Yeah, sage broom.
Sage broom? Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's
What-
a witch.
Is she really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Wow, that
What an
that
amazing
explains the
sequitur.
week you were a frog on the show. I thought that was a puppet. And I was like, where'd you get that Muppet, dude? That was Kyle. No, okay, but you guys give me so much food for thought. Well, you know, I just need to come over and hang out with you guys in the GB.
Honestly, I think
Because,
we're the most glamorous bit of England.
What's that?
I think we're the most glamorous bit of England. They ain't going to get any better than it.
Well, no, but you guys have become such good friends of mine. I mean, I talk to you guys all week long, like in text and stuff. You guys always make me happy to be around, and I'm so lucky. You guys couldn't be more different either. Nevs, you and Mark couldn't be more different,
Well,
and yet
two
you're the same
heterosexual white
because you're
men.
both
I think
super
that's fair.
We both
good
like
guys,
Spain, David.
and I enjoy hanging out with y'all.
Right. I've got some Batman questions for you.
Oh,
No,
great!
And Mark, before we go down this road real quick, if I
I
do
swear, if
ever
it's another
come up,
fucking poem, mate, I'm going to have to kick off.
if I do ever come up that St. Nicholas book, it's gonna have to be a personal handoff. It's either gonna be me going over there or you coming over here. Because
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Well, that'll happen one day. I'm planning on coming
I
over. I
would
want to
love
come
us
to
all-
San Diego
I would love us
Comic Con
both
next.
to go over at the same time, Kyle. That would be fun
Right.
if it worked out.
You'll cause an international incident. I can see it
Yeah,
already.
well,
Okay.
I
already
have
has.
2 spare rooms in the house here. We can put up a couple of people.
Yeah,
here.
that'd be great. Right, so it's slightly different this time. So you can choose easy, hard, medium, or hard questions.
I like that.
An easy question is worth 1 point, a medium is worth 2, and a hard is worth 3. You've got a total.
Is the banking rule still in effect as well?
No, so it's just straight 10 questions, and you get easy, medium, or hard, and your total adds up. You've got 10 questions each.
Okay.
I'm going to go in turn, so go one to the other.
Start with Nevs.
I'm going to start with Nevs.
Feel like
do you want easy, medium, or hard, Nevs?
I'll take it hard, please, honey.
And I gotta warn you guys, when he was asking these the other day, even when he's asking to me, I was cooking and only halfway paying attention. So some of these I may not have even ever actually heard. So I may not
hang
much
on.
help on
Is
this.
the consult Kal-El affecting?
No.
Consult Kal-El rule.
Yeah, you can have one ask Kyle.
Okay.
Okay. So the hard ones are hard. Okay. So if you think you're going to okay. So here we go. Can you name the syndrome that Nora Fries suffers from in the movie Batman and Robin? Can you name the syndrome? Right? It's for you, yeah. That Nora Fries suffers from in the movie Batman and Robin. What's the syndrome called?
Oh, Fries as in freeze. Right. Okay.
Yes, correct.
Can I have a clue?
It's Scottish. It sounds Scottish.
The Billy Connolly really cold syndrome?
No. Okay, wrong. So
I'm wrong. Give it to Kyle.
That one I legitimately knew.
To scold you.
Yes.
No.
I know somebody who had it, and I had to deal with it in social services. It's McGregor syndrome.
McGregor syndrome.
I had a family member that
is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you become an MMA fighter and then start in fights on coaches.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's like a blood platelet thing that causes issues. It's I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Do you want to play the quiz?
Great, that's petrifying.
Gray is going to play the quiz. So, Bill, you got first question, Nevs. You got 0. Bill, if you're going to ask Kyle, you have to ask him before you give me an answer. Right.
Oh, so that was not a real answer. That was a comedy answer for making the show more entertaining. No, it's not going to be Billy Connolly.
Bill, easy, medium, or hard?
All right. I'll take a medium.
You're going to go for a medium. Okay. All right. This is an interesting one. Which character kills Bane in the popular Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises? Which character kills Bane in the Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises? I think Nevs knows this one, and Kyle knows it. Well, I know Kyle knows it.
I know it, and I missed it on purpose because I wanted him to gift one of his regulars, and then it turns out the other questions were even harder. So
okay, I'm going to ask Kyle.
Anyway. You're going to ask Kyle.
You going to use your ask me?
Yeah,
it's Catwoman.
Correct.
I put Batman down to be absurd.
Wait, Catwoman died?
No, she killed Bane.
No, she killed Bane.
Oh, how do I not even remember that?
All I remember is
that's how boring that fucking movie was.
Right.
That movie, the second one was the only one that the first one wasn't bad, but the one with Joker is the only one that I really ever enjoyed.
Greyman, are you playing? No. Okay, right. Nevs, easy, medium, or hard?
Medium, please.
Medium. Oh, this is quite tricky.
So it's hard.
What is the name of Selina's boss in the movie Batman Returns? What is the name of Selina's boss?
Christopher Walken's character.
Yes, unfortunately, it wasn't called Christopher Walken.
I know.
Christopher Walken's character. Go on.
I know.
Go on, I'll pass it. You guys deserve to give me a kicking after the quiz I gave you a couple of weeks back.
Bill, I will give you a bonus point if you know this.
Max Shrek.
Correct. So you get a bonus point.
So I have even a bonus point for you, Mark, even though you're not playing.
Oh,
where did the name Max Shrek come from?
Oh, that's a good question. I thought
it was the Green fella's dad, wasn't it?
if I'm not mistaken, Matt Shrek was the lead actor in Metamorphosis.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, someone needs to look that up because I could totally be wrong.
Okay.
But they took it from something, and I know it had to do with German. What do you call it? Cinema, where it was like Caligari. What do you call that? Expressionistic cinema.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good knowledge there, Bill. Gray, do you want to play the Batman quiz? Yes.
Give him two. Get him caught up. Give him.
Yeah, I'm getting caught up. Okay, so Gray, do you want an easy, medium, or hard question? Medium.
I'll go medium, although both of the hard and medium have been tricky so far.
Hi, Carol.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't got my microphone
Who plays the role of the Scarecrow in all 3 Batman movies by Christopher Nolan? Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Who plays the Scarecrow in all 3 of those movies?
Is it somebody Killian or Killian?
Killian?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Half right. What's his surname?
Yep.
Drinking.
It's not Cillian Murphy.
I do like to drop.
Yes, it is Cillian Murphy.
He got
2 points. Right.
Cillian Murphy.
Blimey.
And he's also about to play Oppenheimer.
Good knowledge there, Gray. Well done. You dragged that up from somewhere. Easy, medium, or hard, Bill, for your second question?
I'm going to take an easy one this time.
Oh, okay. Right.
So how many points did I get?
That's
1 point
these
for
guys'
the bonus?
third-
Yeah, you got 2 points and you got 1 bonus. So you're winning at the moment.
Okay.
Who played the role of the Joker in Batman 1989?
Oh,
Batman.
Jack Nicholson.
Correct. It was an easy question. If you go for easy questions, you get that's so. Bill, you've now got 4 points at the end of the round 2. I've got 1 more question for Gray if he reappears. Gray, your second question. Do you want it easy, medium, or hard?
There's no banking this time, is there?
No banking this time. No.
No banking.
You keep the points.
I'll go for another medium.
Thank God.
I hope
You
for the
go for
best.
another medium. Okay. Not right.
Who played the Joker in the Batman '89? Unbelievable.
Which supervillain in Batman comics has a tally of marks of their victims on their body?
Oh, Mr. Zaz.
Yes, correct. You are also on 4 points. So at the end of the second question, Nevs is 0, Bill has 4, and Gray has 4. Nevs, would you like easy, medium, or hard?
Easy, please.
Easy. Okay.
At this point, he's
so
learned.
Which actor reprises his role as Batman in the new Flash movie?
Michael Keaton.
Correct. 1 point.
Well, that's only half right. So does.
Don't kill my point.
Well,
Fuck you, Bill. This is all I have, and you've got to take it.
George
from me.
Clooney doesn't count.
So
I'm not
does
counting
Ben
George
Affleck.
Clooney.
God.
I haven't seen.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry, Nevs. I didn't mean to rain on your parade.
I just had 1 point, Bill.
I
One
know.
point.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm
Bill.
so sorry.
Bill, easy, medium, or hard?
I liked it more when you were having a nervous break.
I'm going to take an easy.
You want an easy?
All right.
Okay.
So, Mark, point stealing is on for all of them now. Then.
Yeah. See, if they don't know the answer and somebody else does, they can nick a point.
Nice.
Right. Sorry, you wanted an easy, didn't you? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Which actor received a posthumous Oscar for his role in
Heath
the Dark
Ledger.
Knight? Correct. Where's Gray gone?
And might I say here that the only 2 characters to ever, unless you call the Everywhere Anything All at Once a superhero movie, which I don't really think it is, but what 2 Oscars are the only 2 Oscars to be received for playing comic characters?
Well, Heath Ledger. And,
Robin Williams in Popeye. No.
Oh, well, that's comic strip, but he didn't win an Oscar.
No, he didn't. I'm fucking with you.
Did Joker and Phoenix get one for the Joker?
Yeah, for Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
as the
Joaquin
Joker.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both Oscars have only been won by actors playing the Joker.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
Yeah.
Grey Man, easy, medium, or hard? Grey, easy, medium, or hard?
He's busy drinking his 40.
He's just looking at you with disgust.
He can't
Grey
hear
Man,
us.
Grey, easy, medium, or hard?
Oh, he's talking. We can't hear him.
I can read lips, but it
Can't
ain't
hear
working
you,
with that
Greg.
mustache.
Easy,
Medium.
medium.
Medium, please.
Yeah.
No, it's all breaking up. It's breaking up. So,
Right.
So I
Arthur
can-
Brown.
medium.
Arthur Brown was a
Medium,
game
please.
show host. Yeah, Arthur
Medium.
Brown was a game show host before he became a villain.
Right.
What is his
The
villain
second
name?
one.
Yeah,
Can you hear him? Arthur
Brown
Brown.
was a
might be
game
out of
show
sync,
host
fellas.
before he became a villain. What was his
Hey,
villain
test the
name?
mic.
Hey, we can't hear you. Type it in the chat.
I think
Master.
he's out of sync. Oh,
Clue Master is
Clue Master.
correct. Clue
Clue
Master
Master.
Know that.
So Gray is now leading on.
What did he say?
Clue
Master.
Master.
Clue Master. Okay.
Right, Nevs. Nevs, you're lagging. Would you like easy, medium, or hard?
hard.
Oh, okay.
Clue Master.
Great. Yes, we've given it. I've given you the points.
We got you like a minute ago, dude. We
There you
need to
go.
get
He's
you
going to
better
rush
internet.
down. Yeah.
Hard. Okay. Right. What is the villain name of Theodore Carrigan, a con artist who used deception? What is the villain name of Theodore Carrigan, a con artist who used deception? You can ask Kyle if you don't know.
Don't
That is
ask
the
me
very-
because I don't.
Don't
know.
ask him, he doesn't know.
That is super hard.
The way you've-
The hards are hard.
I heard the answer yesterday. I don't even slightly remember it.
The way you phrase that makes me think there's a clue in the way you put the question. Uses deception.
Maybe.
Maybe. Deception is such a specific word.
Don't try and read too much into it.
My
Oh,
wild
okay.
ass
Let's
guess
go
then would be
to
deceptive,
Bill,
which I don't think there's a
Bill or
deceptive.
Gray, do you want to steal?
Yeah,
Greg,
go for it.
you
Bill.
wanna
Steal
steal?
away.
I
Give
don't
Greg
know
a
it.
chance because I think he's going to type it into the chat if he knows. Of course,
Okay.
then he could be looking it up, but
Okay, the answer is Dr. Zodiac.
Oh,
okay. I did
Yeah,
not even know there was a Dr.
I didn't know
Zodiac.
that.
So, Bill, easy, medium, or hard?
Easy.
Another easy.
These are very good questions, by the way, Mark.
They're great,
Yeah.
but the easy are actually not that easy.
Which
No, who was
mythical,
Jack Nicholson?
That was easy, okay.
which mythical Gorgon creates a mystical crime syndicate after her own name? Which mythical
shit.
Gorgon creates a mystical crime syndicate after her own name? Nevs is going to steal if you don't give me an answer, Bill.
My answer is Medusa.
Your answer is correct.
Sorry.
that was too easy.
I love this guy. I love all these
mythical?
guys, but I love
Which
this guy.
mythical Gorgon? Well,
Gray, if you are listening, would you like easy, medium, or hard? Gray, if you're listening, do you want
I'll
easy,
touch
medium,
medium,
or hard?
please. Wait, where'd that come from? Sorry.
You're going to go for a
I
medium.
wonder if he's away from his keyboard.
Well, who said you can? Anyway, I'm going to give him a medium. Which criminal group wears animal masks of a shark, a vulture, and a fox? Which criminal group wears animal masks of a shark, a vulture, and a fox? What is the name of the group?
They're actually on the Batman bread wrapper.
Oh, yeah.
No, they are. They are. It's funny.
I think Gray is not going to answer this, so
Not this
either of
year,
you two
anyway.
can steal.
Go ahead, Nevs.
Is it Professor Pig's Farm of Crime Fellas? Am I in the right place?
These are
It's
really
not
old
Fallout,
Batman.
right?
These are really old Batman. Before
Yeah, I didn't know they. Are they just the crime syndicate or the?
They're called the no, they're called the Terrible Trio.
Oh, you know, it's funny, but
Man,
it
I
was
thought
Fox.
Fancy Down and the Enforcers was an obscure answer.
It
but
was
the fucking
Fox.
Terrible Trio-
What were they?
Shark, Vulture, and Fox.
Shark, Vulture, and Fox. Yeah.
I wonder if I could zoom with this camera.
Ah, he had to go get his beefaroni.
Okay, we're on to round 5. Nevs.
I got to show
you
my
are
rabbit.
currently, you've got a score of 1 currently.
Yay!
Would you like easy, medium, or hard?
I will take a medium, please.
You're going to go for a medium.
Like
After
the
Robin,
fan I am.
after Robin makes fun of his weight, which Batman villain tries to exact revenge by changing the city's water supply to chocolate?
For real?
For real?
Is this like a Batman 66 plot or something?
No, I think this is in main stories. After Robin makes fun of his weight, which Batman villain tries to exact revenge by changing the city's water supply to chocolate? Oh, sorry, that's a hard question.
You try to change it.
That's a hard question. You asked for a medium, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry, that was a hard question.
There's only one villain that I would leap to on that.
Is even the power to create chocolate evil? I mean,
Well, the answer was Sweet Tooth. Right. Which nightclub serves as a cover for the criminal activities?
Wait. What was the answer to that last one?
Sweet Tooth.
Oh, was he fat?
Yes.
Well, I would imagine
well,
so.
then he deserved it. Okay, go ahead.
You're an evil man, Bill.
Sweet
Right.
Tooth. Come on, dude.
Sorry, this is your medium question, Nevs. Which nightclub serves as a cover for the criminal activities run by the Penguin? What's the name of the nightclub?
The Iceberg?
Yes, the Iceberg Lounge. Yes, you can have that.
Dude, I never would have gotten that. That's amazing.
I got it from
Well done,
Penguin.
Nevs.
Literally.
So, Bill, easy, medium, or hard?
Easy.
Oh, an easy. Who plays Batman's butler in the Dark Knight trilogy movie series?
Michael Caine.
Correct. Taking you to 7 points. Gray, easy, medium, or hard? Gray has dropped off again. He's still he's still got more points than Nev.
Hey, Kyle, am I seeing
Most
the
people
smoke
have.
back there? Does it really look smoky, or is that just me?
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
smoky.
That's crazy.
But I'm just trying to zoom in on the rabbit chilling.
Right,
out.
at the halfway point, Nevs has 3, Bill has 7, and Gray has 6, despite the fact he hasn't answered the last 2 questions. Right. Question 6, Nevs, easy, medium, or hard?
Easy, please.
Another easy. What color is the Riddler's costume in the film Batman Forever?
Neon green?
Green, correct. 4 point. Are you catching up with the easies? Bill, medium, easy, medium, or hard?
Easy.
Oh, another easy. Bruce Lee appears in the 1966 TV series, the Batman TV series. True or false?
He does, and he appears as Kato because it was crossover with
good
Green
knowledge.
Hornet.
Good knowledge. 8 points. Gray man,
You
are
guys
you
see that
around?
little bunny?
You know what? I don't think that's that easy. I mean, I'm happy getting a point for it, but I don't know that many people that would be younger than us would get that.
The person in the trivia yesterday actually
The
missed
us and
it.
Alex Ross, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, the person in the trivia yesterday got it wrong. Yes, correct. Nevs, easy, medium, or hard?
Medium, please.
A medium. In what year did Batman first appear? Plus or minus 1 year.
1940.
Well, you've got it, yeah, because it's 1939, so that is plus or minus 1 year. So you get 2 points. You're catching up, mate. You're catching up.
Woo! That wasn't hard. Medium hard. Come
That was a
on.
medium.
Ah.
Bill, easy,
Yes.
medium, or hard?
I'll take another easy.
Go for another easy. Right. You had that easy one already. Okay, this is an easy one. Who wrote The Killing Joke?
Alan Moore.
Correct.
Motherfucker.
I think Nevs might have stolen that one off you if you haven't got it. Nevs, you're on 6 and Billy's on 9. Would you like easy, medium, or hard?
I will take a medium, please.
A medium.
Gray says, I am here, medium, please.
Okay, I'll do him in a minute. Who is known
Well, if you
as
said
Little,
it now.
who is known as Little Miss Crown Princess? Which character is known as Little Miss Crown Princess?
Shit. Is it a variation on the name Juella or something like that? Like the pre it's not, is it? Because I'm just is it, you say clown or crown?
Crown.
I said crown, but clown would probably work just as well.
Harley Quinn?
Correct. 2 points.
Okay, now that you already gave an answer. That's not exactly fair.
No, I was thinking. And I was throwing out words for the
I'll
sake of
answer mine that
entertainment.
way too, man. That was cheesy, dude. Come on. I knew it was Harley Quinn immediately. I mean,
Are you going to moan on every quiz we do, Bill?
Okay, I'm good. Gray has got a couple of questions to ask, so I'm going to
love you,
Gray a
Nevs.
medium
Okay.
question.
I love you, Bill.
Okay, Gray. Which Batman villain developed a chemical formula that could turn men into beasts? This is for Gray.
Shit. There's
Which
more than one
Batman
answer.
villain developed a chemical formula that could turn men into beasts?
And I've got the chat up, so as soon as he answers, I'll spat it out. So you ain't even got to fish for it.
I think I know, but I'm not positive.
All right. Come on, G. I
I've
know
got an
you're
idea about
lagging.
voice positive.
He's lagging, so we know he's not looking it up because his computer would crash and we'd all go off the air if he tried to look something up.
Well, as far as we know, you know. Hey, man, all's fair and
Man bat.
No, Hugo Strange.
I knew
Hugo
it.
Strange.
I knew it.
Okay.
Wait, but Man Bat
Wait,
is also
you should have
white.
given me a chance to steal.
I didn't.
Yep.
No,
Forgot the
I'm sorry,
steal on that
I've given
one.
you a chance to steal there.
Kirk Langstrom.
Well, so the reason I didn't think it, I thought it might not be beasts, is because basically they weren't really beasts; they were just giant versions of themselves.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
although I know in 1938, 39, 40.
Answer.
What's that?
I think Man Bat is the correct answer. Like Kirk Langstrom does develop a formula that turns people into beasts, right? So
No, he turned himself into a beast.
yeah, but he's turned other people into Man Bats as well.
No. But it was expressly that he turns people into beasts. He was one beast.
Well, every person's going to be turned into one beast.
Well, no, but
I'm listening to the argument here. I think Man-Bat might be a perfectly good answer to this. I think there's 2 possible answers to this question.
I don't think so, because he wasn't a beast. He wanted
So
to be Batman, but have the powers of Bat. He didn't want to.
Didn't he turn his missus into a bat at some point?
Right. But
Didn't he have a son that he turned into something as well?
That dude needs another hobby besides turning people into
he's still a
And
bat
his
boy
kids.
for the
Yeah,
best.
and his
All
kids.
right.
Yeah.
Give Gray a point on that one.
I think Gray gets the point on that. Well, okay, right. That leaves us in an interesting position after 7 questions.
That's what she said.
So after 7, Nev was on 6, Bill was on 9, and Gray's on 8. But on round 8, Nevs has already got 2 points, so he's gone up to 8. So Bill, round 8, would you like an easy, medium, or hard?
Am I in the lead?
You are in the lead.
I want easy, please.
Right.
I want Nevs to work for this shit. Well, I take it easy.
You're not the first person to say that.
Okay, which Hollywood actor played the role of Mr. Freeze in the movie Batman and Robin?
Oh,
There's easy and there's taking the
that would be
piss,
the Governor.
The Governor is correct.
It is not correct. The dude's name is not the Governor. I'm calling
Come
him
on,
Schwarzenegger because that is the actual answer. Fuck you, Bill. Give me the points. Give me the points. Give me
Come
the points.
on, I get the fucking point.
You do not get the point. You did not give the dude's name.
Yeah, we've given
Give
you
me
the
the point.
we've given you the points for Man Bat. Grey Man.
Yeah. I think I get Governor. Okay, I knew it was
Is it
Schwarzenegger.
saying Governor on his birth certificate?
I'm the
Does it?
Governor.
Yes.
I'm going to come over and kill you.
Plus, he
Man.
did the accent as well.
Yeah, I
No,
did
you
do the
didn't.
accent.
I think you should have got points for that accent.
Yeah,
Right.
Thank you.
Grey Man, are you here? Do you want easy, medium, or hard?
So medium
You're
will
on
tie
8
in with
points.
Bill,
You're on
right?
8 points. You're only one behind Bill at this point. Bill only got 1 point because he went for an easy question. If you
No. I
Which
was a
he
point
didn't
ahead,
get.
so I must be 2 points ahead now.
well, you're 2 points ahead of 8, yes. But if he
Right.
goes for a medium, he'll catch up. Grey Man, easy, medium, or hard?
He's typing. You got to give him a chance to type it in. My guess is he's going to stay medium, but it
I
hadn't
think he's
popped
going
up
to go
yet.
medium
so-
as well, yes.
I guess he's fussing with his computer right now.
Ghost.
Keep it medium, he says.
Ghost in the Shadow. Nice one. Nice.
He
I like
says
that.
keep
Put
it
up as part of
medium.
the donation. I've not read
Keep
it
it
before.
medium. So, Gray, your question is this. Who are the current writers of Detective Comics? Who are the current writers of Detective Comics?
Ooh.
So I know you don't read anything new beyond about 2000, so you're probably not going to know this. Who are the current writers of
Batmite
Detective
2000. Is Batmite 2000 real? Was that a book?
I have no idea.
Wait, what?
Oh, that sounds great. I would buy that book. Batmite
And
2000.
Gray is a question behind. He stole 2 points, but he is owed one more question.
Well, let's see how he gets on with this one. Grey Man, who are the current writers of Detective Comics? I'm not going to allow you enough time to go and look it up. So 10.
Again, if he was looking it up, his computer would shut off and we'd all be off the air.
Well, we don't know that though.
Well, exactly.
What
I
happens
don't
at
think
Gray's
that's
house
fair.
stays at Gray's house because he can't do anything because he doesn't have internet.
Oh, come on, he doesn't know. Right. Any of you know who the current writers of Detective Comics is?
No.
Not me. Jeff.
None of you know.
No.
Ram V. It's Ram V, great British writer,
Right.
and Dan Waters. So there you go. You've let the side down, guys.
Shows you
by
all
not
I know.
knowing
All
that.
right. So
Um,
he is owed one more question.
Yeah, Gray, you are allowed another one. You want to carry on with the mediums?
He said Tinian, but
Oh, no, Tinian wrote Batman for a period of time. He's not the current writer of Batman, and he's not the current writer of Detective Comics either.
Yeah, tell
Right.
him what.
Okay, so Grey Man, you've got one more question to catch up, and then you're caught up. Would you like a easy, medium, or hard?
Those are my fingers drumming.
Thank you for the factual updates, Bill.
Anytime.
Right, I'm going to assume you're going for a medium, Gray, and we're going to go with this question here. So, which evildoer uses charisma and manipulation to try and achieve his goal of becoming the best crime boss in the city? I presume we're talking about Gotham here. Which evildoer uses charisma and manipulation to try and achieve his goal of becoming the best crime boss in Gotham? I think Grey Man will get this. Which evildoer uses charisma? In which case, you'll be on equal score with you, Bill.
We're just now getting his printout of yes, please, and medium. So it's
well, this is a medium. I guess he wants to do a medium. Which evildoer uses charisma and manipulation to try and achieve his goal of becoming the best crime boss in the city? Bill, are you know this one, Bill? I'm assuming Greyman is going to answer this question at some stage. In the meantime, Nevs, round 9.
Yo! Hi.
Easy, medium, or hard?
Hard, please.
Hard. Oh, okay.
He's doubling down. Oh, he doesn't have to worry about banking or anything, so that's good.
No. Right. Okay, you have got a hard question coming up.
I'm
right.
ready.
Gray said Black Mask rings no bells to me.
Black Mask. No, incorrect.
I would have said
Black
Riddler.
Mask, charisma.
It's Carmine Falcone.
Oh,
Carmine Falcone.
Oh,
Okay.
See, but he didn't really have
He's really
those
charismatic
abilities on Gotham.
He had the Tommy gun. It's not the same.
Yeah, he uses charisma and manipulation. He's not.
He's
He's going to manipulate you by pointing a gun to your face.
That's true.
But in a charming way, I guess.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Round 9. The scores are as follows: Nevs is on 8, Bill is on 10, and Gray is on 8. Okay. So it's very
okay.
exciting.
Medium, please.
Oh, you've
I'm
changed your
playing
mind. You're going for medium. Okay.
And this is number 9.
Who plays the Penguin in the 1966 TV series?
Burgess Meredith.
yes,
Correct.
sir.
You're on 10 points.
Woo!
Bill, easy, medium, or hard?
And we're on question 9.
Yeah, one more question after this.
And how many points does Nevs have now?
Nevs now has 10. You were on 10 plus whatever you score this round.
Easy.
Ooh. Which actress plays the role of Selena Kyle in the movie Batman Returns?
Give me a second. I
5,
don't know why her
4, 3. 2,
I know exactly who she is. I just can't.
Can I
think of
steal
her
it?
name.
Can I steal it? Can I steal it?
No, not yet.
No, wait. Michelle.
Yes.
Think Bruno Mars.
Michelle.
Sean.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Correct.
Got it.
11.
Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold.
When does he use charisma? I'm only reading the questions here, mate. Right.
You wrote the fucking questions.
Your questions are great. However, I think Burgess Meredith was easy, not medium, but that's okay.
Well, it depends how old you are. If you know the answer, they're all easy. It's
That's true.
Right. Greyman, you are on 8 points. If you go for a medium, you will go to 10, and the final it'll be 10, 11, 10. If you go for a hard, you can equal Bill. So, Greyman, do you want easy, medium, or hard? Carmine Falcone uses charisma. He's a bit of a talker. He's a sort of, if you don't agree with me,
his daughter killed him.
He's got
or your family will end up with cement boots in the bottom of the river.
I don't think he wants to place last, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go hard.
Right. While we're waiting for Greyman, Nevs, your final round. You're on 10 points.
Remind me what the scores are, please.
Right. You are on 10. Yep. Bill is on 11. Greyman has still got to do his question 9 when he's on 8 before he does question 9.
I will take a medium, please, Mark.
You are going for a medium. Okay, let me find you a nice medium. Here we go.
If he lands a medium, Gray can't catch him.
Penguin is the alias for which gun-selling mobster?
Oswald Cobblepot.
Correct. 2 points. And Gray is going for medium. Right, Greyman, your medium question. What is the supervillain alias of Jervis Tetch? What is the supervillain alias of Jervis Tetch? Greyman, do you know this answer?
I'll steal if he doesn't.
Oh, that could actually affect the score if they steal.
It's not like he's known for using charisma. He's still obsessing about the last bloody question.
It's a fair thing to complain about.
It's not a fair thing to complain about.
It is. You might as well have said he uses legs for walking.
Greyman's sitting there grumbling to himself, going, "Calm in,
Doesn't use fucking charisma."
So, how long are we going to wait for him to answer this?
Greyman, you need to answer because Bill's getting tetchy.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Tetchy. Hilarious.
Oh, it's like you took the jokes and I said them like some kind of ventriloquist.
Greyman, you've got. I'm going to have to put some time limit on you. You've
5
got,
seconds.
We've got 10 seconds. 10. I'm going to pass it to Bill, who knows this.
Bill, but I
8, 7, 6. Come on, Gray. 5. I'm sure you know this. 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm afraid time is up.
ventriloquist. Give me the points.
Wait a minute. So do both of you think you know this?
Mad Hatter.
Did you know that, Nev?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't very convincing. I don't believe you.
Face. Look at that face.
Did Bill still do and steal the win?
Bill just steals 1 point. The steal is for 1 point. So puts him on 12.
My favorite episode ever with Nevs.
So they're tied.
So Bill, you only have to get 1 point at this stage to win. So would you like easy, medium, or hard?
I'm easy, baby, easy.
I thought you were going to wash it out. Right.
And you still got me as help.
It's been a fix.
Or no, you don't.
No, I used you first on.
You used me.
Yeah.
Nevs.
How many volumes of Batman have there been?
Oh, you
that's
shouldn't
like
have used
a
me.
hard one. I don't think that's
You
fair.
shouldn't have used me because I know this one.
I asked for an easy.
That is
Gray has
easy.
come up with the right answer.
Hey, Greyman knew that, by the way.
As far as we know. Too late. But that's a
Hey,
hard one.
I
Volume?
want to steal.
Okay.
For 12 points, I want
Originally,
to steal. I want to
How many
steal for 12
volumes
points.
of Batman have there been in the comic?
If Bill doesn't get this,
In the
I'm gonna
what?
steal for 12
In the
points.
comic, so Batman comic, how many volumes have there been? How many times has it restarted? How many times has it gone back to issue 1?
oh my God, that's so hard. How can that be an easy question?
It's
Mark,
very easy.
actually,
Yeah,
I
it is
13
just a
points.
number.
They have 12. I want 13 points for the steal here.
No.
13
Wait.
points for the steal here.
How many reboots of
God,
Batman
he's
number
not
1
paying
has there been?
By Jove, he's got it.
So if I was asking this,
None.
None. There was an original Batman series.
right? Okay, the answer is 3.
3.
Oh.
I did that like
Volume
10 times
1
while you were
ran
sitting
from
there.
1940 to
I'm like, I want-
2011 and was 713 issues. It then
Like,
rebooted with the new 52. Okay.
Then Rebirth.
I thought that
and-
was Batman and Robin, though.
No, whatever. It counts as Batman. So that ran for
It's just
52
Batman.
issues.
It literally
said
is
just Batman.
just Batman.
It is Batman.
There are
Okay,
3
okay,
that are
okay.
just
And
Batman.
then
It's not
they
Batman
did
and Robin.
Rebirth,
Batman.
and Rebirth counts as volume 3, and that is
Yeah.
currently running.
I
it's
feel
still-
I honestly feel like that wasn't an easy question.
It's one of the trickier, easier questions.
See, trickier. That means tricky means it's not easy. Hey, come on, man.
He answered his, so there's
he's looking out for his English bros. He's
Bill.
Bill has never met a question he's not.
Never question the quiz master. That's the first question. First thing here. So people who argue with me about charisma on Carmine Falcone.
Hey,
I see how it is.
I wasn't arguing with you in the
abuse of
thread,
power.
but I'm telling you that you got to change the question about who portrayed him in the movie, which I did not know the answer to. You got to change that to serial. The longest serial was 22 minutes. That's not technically a movie. That's a serial.
Oh, okay.
That is, they were only 18 to 22.
Who ever said Comic Sans Reign?
Grey Man. I'm going to, even though I'm still giving Bill the steal points. I'm going to give you Mad Hatter because I trust you, mate.
Am I still a point ahead?
You got the last question wrong. So you're currently at the end. It's currently a tie break between you and Nevs.
So I have 12 points.
You have 12 points. Grey Man is currently on 10 with one more question.
Okay.
So, Grey Man, if you go for a hard and get it correct, you can win. If you go for a medium and get it correct, you're in a three-way tie break.
How's that going to work? Marco's on the way.
Just don't worry about it. The quizmaster has it under control.
He is there.
And so
I've never been this close.
You're going to go for a hard. I think he means
he's going for hard. He's going for the win outright.
He's going for an outright.
Okay, can we set a time limit before
he's got a 1 minute lag?
Yeah, we're a bit suspicious.
Give him 1 minute.
1 minute.
A bit suspicious that the 5 minutes he's taken looking up the answer on
yeah, I think 1 minute is enough.
Again, if he tried to do anything on his computer, we'd all cut off the screen.
I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. That is a really handy excuse.
God,
there's no way I could be doing this because you'd lose power because that's how the internet works.
Meanwhile, on his phone.
Not buying it. Yeah, exactly. His phone.
I'm just
or
saying.
tablet.
Okay, Grey Man.
Any other device.
Okay. Grey Man is answering a question about how many volumes of Batman there've been.
Okay.
Well, you were correct, Grey Man. The water has flowed under the bridge for that one. For your final question, do you want easy, medium, or hard? Easy, you're going to lose. Medium, you'll be in a three-way tie break, and hard, if you get it right, you will win. So easy, medium, or hard.
I thought he already said hard.
No, he wrote 3. I think he was answering the question about the number of volumes of Batman.
Oh.
Hey, why don't we put the question into the Facebook Messenger chat, and then we actually know how long. Once he's seen it, that starts the time limit, right?
Nah, it's hard to get specific, like down to the minutes on Facebook.
I mean, I bet I could look up the answer and the time it would take between you asking the question and him answering it.
Right.
In fact, I'm going to prove that theory.
I won't do it because it's bad sportsmanship, but
yeah, I trust him. I do trust him because a couple different times his answer has been fuck, I don't know.
But yeah, see, that's what you do. You never play an ace when a 2 will do.
I mean, granted, that's what I said. I missed the softball with Catwoman on purpose.
Right, but why is it taking him so long to answer easy, medium, or hard?
Because it takes a lot to look things up.
Oh, he said something.
Yeah, if his internet's lagging, I guess
he is going for hard. He is going for the win outright.
All right, here we go. And it is a hard question. I think it's a hard question.
What was Bob Kane's nickname in elementary school?
And you know what else? He still hasn't asked.
Copycat.
So if there's a chance I know this, I'm gonna help the winner.
Okay, Grey Man, we need you to answer this as quickly as possible because the others are suspecting nefarious techniques.
You get 1 minute.
Which Batman villain has gloves that can vibrate with a frequency perfect for smashing human skulls? Which Batman villain has gloves that can vibrate with a frequency perfect for smashing human skulls?
Well, this sucks because I got the wrong answer stuck in my head from what they answered yesterday, and now I can't remember what the damn right answer is. So I'm no help to you, Gray.
You two guys don't know, do you?
Not yet.
The person answered the shocker.
And not
But
yet.
that's a Marvel
Nevs
person.
is looking it up.
Okay, I got it.
Nevs has got it, which means Greyman could have got it.
Nevs looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I still trust him. I'll take his word for it if he gets it.
it's been
Right.
over a minute.
Gray, this is for the win.
Give him a 10 countdown, but without words in the middle.
Okay,
of the
so now
numbers.
obviously I'm not going to try and steal it because I've looked up the answer, right?
Right, you can't steal it.
You can't steal it if you looked it up. 10, 9, 8, 7. I don't know if there's much point doing this countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Now I remember.
1.
Now I
Okay.
remember.
The
Hold on before Nevs
What is
answers.
the question? I'm sorry, mate. If you're not listening, I'm not playing. Right.
Yeah.
Wrong. 10 points. I asked the question at least twice. Right. Okay.
Is it bone crusher or skull
Bone,
crusher?
it's bone blaster.
Bone blaster. Okay.
I was going to say Skull Crusher Jones, just as a knockoff.
Right. Okay. We have a tie break between Nevs and Bill.
Nevs
So
is
I'm
equal
gonna-
to me? How'd that happen?
I answered some questions correctly.
And you've got your
Fuck
last
off.
question wrong. You got your last question wrong, mate. You got your last question wrong, basically. Right. The first person to answer this question.
Barbara Gordon, Sarah Eason, Vicky Vale.
I will take your first answer once I've asked the question.
Oh, he already gave 3 answers. He's already
He
negated.
didn't ask
Right.
the question yet.
Okay. What was Killer Croc's actual name?
Never heard of bone blaster though. So see,
I have
Greg,
no idea.
I don't know. I don't know. It's yours.
No, neither of you know. Right.
No.
Okay. It's Waylon Jones.
All right.
Right.
Wade Long Jones,
Waylon
Yeah.
Jones.
He's a really tall fella, but if you lie
Or
him
he was in
sideways,
porn.
way long.
he was in porn.
Okay.
It's me, Wade Long Jones. Zip, son. Oh, look, my camera even went down. That was perfect.
That's no alligator. That's my wife.
Yeah, that's
Okay, guys.
Is
Alligator.
Waylon Jones related to Big Dick Black?
from
Every week, Kyle. Every
George C.
week.
Scott movie. Is
Hey,
that from the
and-
George C.
and-
Scott movie?
And Gray knew that one. Gray knew Waylon Jones.
Yeah, he would. Greg
Oh, it's
would know
funny
that.
how his time distortion is sorted out now, and there are no points on them.
Yeah, suddenly he's answering very quickly.
Now he admitted he had no
Suddenly,
idea. Who
I
Bone
knew Waylon
Crusher
Jones.
was. He admitted he had no idea who Bone Crusher was.
Okay, guys. First person to give me the answer wins. Okay. Who played Catwoman in the original 1966 TV series?
Three people.
Eartha Kitt.
Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt, and crap.
Lee
Lee
Merriweather.
All right, I'm going to
But
call
the
that.
answer's
I'm
Eartha
going to
Kitt.
call that a tie because I had Eartha Kitt, but I think Bill's right. I think it was more than one person.
There were
No,
three.
no,
Yeah.
but beyond
the
that,
first
the
person-
The
person,
original
the
is
first
Eartha
person
Kitt.
I named, Julie Newmar, was the first one.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to call that.
I
I'm going
want
to
the
call.
point.
Yeah.
Give me
So
the
Mike
point.
gave me Eartha Kitt first, but you gave me another one. So I'm going to call it a tie.
It's
So
not
we're
a
still
tie.
going to-
It's not a
Well,
tie. I won.
Eartha Kitt
Eartha
played
Kitt
it
was
first.
not the first Catwoman. It was my answer of Julie Newmar.
But you gave that after Eartha Kitt, so that balances out. Next question.
No, I said Julie. I said Julie Newmar, Eartha. No, I said Julie Newmar first. When I said it, I won.
You didn't win anything. Don't question the
Kitt was number
Quizmaster. That's one
3.
of the first rules.
Which
Kitt
villain?
was the third
Okay,
cat.
guys, I'm carrying it forward to another tiebreak. Okay, so it was arguable.
We're now on the third tiebreaker.
So another tiebreak. Okay. Which villain duo is actually a man and a toy, wherein the toy...
The ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist and who?
Scarface.
Yes.
I said Scarface.
Did you both say ventriloquist and Scott? What?
I did.
Kyle,
I said it.
Kyle.
Bill tried to spit it out, and it came out mumbled, but it came out, and they both said it. So another question comes.
Another question, I think. Yeah, but
damn you, Nevs.
This is
fun.
But wow, you two are pretty good on these. Right.
Bill, you suck. You suck.
And I'm telling you, great.
You suck more.
Okay. Hey guys, on your marks, get ready. Okay, I will accept the first person who gives me the answer. Right. Which Batman villain becomes a zombie-like creature after being thrown
Solomon
into...
Grundy.
Correct.
I acquiesce. You were the better man this day. Well done on your
Well
fine
done, Bill.
And strong
That was
Batman knowledge.
clear cut. You got that one. You even anticipated the full question.
I love you guys. This was fun. This is the hardest I've ever fought on a trivia con. I honestly, I'm going to give both Gray and Nevs big props, especially.
Hey,
Nevs.
I came in dead last. I lost again today. I lost.
You didn't play.
I have lost 3 straight trivia.
I mean, you're taking credit for doing nothing.
I have lost 3 straight trivia contests. I lost on the Whatnot show. I lost to Graham, and I lost here. So
I lost the London Marathon this year by the same token of logic that you're applying.
That is the hardest I've ever worked to
event
win
in the
a trivia contest.
Yeah, I'm with you. I lost the London Marathon again this year.
I know, right? I keep trying so hard, and I just never end up putting my shoes on.
Oh, well done, Bill.
You know what we ought to do?
Hey, before I forget, Bill, how much do you love JMD Mateus?
Love him.
He catered to your schedule, brother.
Does he know who I am?
No way.
No,
Really?
but he catered to your schedule since you couldn't make Wednesday the 19th because of the commitments. He is going to come on the following week or the 29th, whatever.
I hung out with him at Texas Con one year for about an hour and a half. We had the best time just talking about crazy shit, but it's right when he was doing Justice League 3000, and which was kind of in a weird way a sister book to Legion. But and I'm sure he doesn't remember me, and that's fine. He meets millions of people.
But he'll remember you when he sees your face, Bill.
He catered to your schedule, and he will also come back on later in the year to do follow along with other things. But you guys get your jam questions ready.
Oh, that's
like
so
this
sweet.
time next month.
Thank you for me.
Really accommodating, right? Is there a project that he's promoting at the moment that he wants us to talk about?
Well,
Yes.
we hyped the hell out of it anyway, and we'll talk about it because he's got all that Demultiverse stuff, and we'll talk about the Demultiverse stuff and stage 2 of it and things like that. But literally ask him what you want.
Yeah,
Great.
That's mainly going to be about you two guys. I know Mark's going to show off like what he got from his Demultiverse subscription and his Mandrake stuff. Because if you haven't seen it, go back and watch the interview we did with him. And then the week later, he plugged me into Tom Mandrake, and we got Tom Mandrake on the show for Gray. So
I
we
am going to be all about.
base
I have
on
not
all
seen
that.
anyone give many questions about Moonshadow, and I think it's one of the great unrecognized.
Well, you know,
Based
I
on
asked him about Moonshadow.
yeah.
So
we-
did I already say? I don't know if I said this or not, but I didn't say it on the show. I know,
But
when I was married the first time, which lasted 5 months, I got a cat, which I'd never had a cat before. I'd always had dogs, and we named him Moonshadow after that series.
Yeah.
there
Well,
you go.
I moved
Let it-
out, and she gave Moonshadow away the next week.
Oh,
And
that's
I
a
was so
shame.
mad. I would have kept the damn cat myself.
Yeah, that's a shame. But let him know that story. But yeah, we did talk to him. Nevs, you'd be pulling out your hair. Watch.
I did ask him about that intergalactic sex club.
Yeah, and he talked about going to the corner coffee shop with John J. Muth, and they were just shooting the shit and doing scribbles on napkins and getting ideas and shit like that, and just throwing the napkins away.
Greyman is still complaining about the Carmine Falcone question.
Well, you know what? That was a weird.
It's good that he
I don't
has a
remember him having
consistency and tenacity.
powers, but
I bet you the next time I see Gray, when we we go to the August London Comic Mart, he's gonna moan at me about.
He's gonna bring out issues of the Long Halloween and say, "Show me the charisma here."
And Mark, you'll say, "Hey, boy, quiet down. Go get the boxes and bring them back to the table."
Hey, now
he's a hey boy.
Let's do a brownies.
That's an American term, but Gray is Mark's hey boy at these events. He goes, "Hey boy, do this. Hey boy, do this." Yes, I will, sir. Sire.
Let's do a brownies question, and Mark can ask me the questions and see if I can get a perfect score, and smoke all of you out the water.
All right,
do it.
All right. But on the same,
I could write the damn book on it, so he'd have to consult me to tell all the answers.
That's so cool.
I've been having people asking me to write the book on that for years.
On DeMatteis?
On the brownies.
Oh, the original brownies.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you should.
I probably know more about the original brownies than anybody alive right now, because the two people that were experts on it are long dead.
No, Rick Marshall's still alive.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Well, okay. Well, then there you go. I stand corrected there.
Well, I guess we need to have Rick Marshall as a guest on the show and have
that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, you could have a brownie off.
Brown off. Yeah, we call them brownouts here when only certain areas go out of power. They call them brownouts.
Oh.
I don't know why I brought that up. But
my poem, I call my poem a brownout. When I just don't make it to the bathroom in time and it squirts, I have a brownout.
I knew that was coming. That was your fault,
butt
Bill.
Gravy, that just or whatever you said. But
existential mayonnaise will get you through life.
Yeah.
I'm logging off.
Bill, tell me you know what I mean by.
Hey, have a great one. See you, Mark. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Hey, Bill, tell me you know what I mean by existential mayonnaise.
Yes, I do.
Which is?
It's
yes, existential.
Okay, thank you. I didn't want to say it out loud.
Well, Mark dropped out, huh?
Yeah.
Nevs went for a smoke. I figure he's coming back. I don't want to jump out on him yet, but
yeah, I won't jump out. I'm gonna go to the side for a little smoke myself, but I can still talk to you. Okay, I gotta ask you. Do you have any idea who this guy is on my shirt?
No.
Taylor Wiley, who was a regular on the reboot of Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really large Hawaiian guy.
Yeah.
And he became a major character on the show.
There you go. The pictures
made a lot of money.
The pictures an homage to whose artwork?
Huh?
The picture layout is an homage to whose artwork?
Oh, I'd say Warhol.
Yes, Andy Warhol.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah, that's a Warhol thing.
But the thing is, once you got into digital art, you had a lot more people able to do that stuff. Warhol did it technically and acoustically. He used no digital means.
Greyman said Mark had a verbal brown with that Balcony question.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Mark, you need to rewatch this because I'm going to take a picture of that and send it to you. Here. I'm actually going to pull this up in case Mark doesn't see it. And I'm going to comment. And let's see. This takes a picture. Hopefully this takes a picture of what I'm seeing. Yeah. And it did. I'm going to send that to Mark on the link. So just
send it.
Actually.
Hey, man, that was the best quiz we've ever had because it was neck and neck. It was great.
I pretty well sucked at it today. That was good.
I think you got
yesterday.
All right,
We did it on the show yesterday, on his Whatnot show, and
hey, you blacked out
anyway. I flubbed a lot anyway, but
I'm still here.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just going to the fridge. By the way, this episode is officially, unofficially supported by Purple Haze.
And the Purple Haze comes forth. There, I shared that in the group thing so Bill could see that.
I'm sorry, what?
I shared that in the thing so Mark could see that. That he did a Vertical Brown.
That's funny. And, you know, it's funny. Everything's funny today, apparently. But I just realized that how much Nevs looks like freaking Tigger.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just saying. We can't combine those names, though. Nevs and Tigger. But, so, who won this
Why
year?
would he be Tibbs?
Yeah, Tevs. Yeah, wink. So who won the Indy this year?
Oh shit. First timer. I don't even remember the kid's name anymore.
Okay.
He's been driving for
years.
He's been driving for years. He was long overdue for a win, but I can't get Hinchcliffe out of my head. And it wasn't Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
He held off the guy I wanted to win. AJ's guy finished third, but I don't keep track of him too much anymore. But he was a sentimental favorite. The kid that won was a sentimental favorite. So
had he never had AJ's guy never won before?
Not the 500. I wanted him to win the 500, but
yeah, that's the prestige.
It was chaotic that month, and when I found out like the day before the race that 3 weeks before AJ's wife of 67 years died, I'm surprised.
Oh my God!
I'm surprised he even made the race.
I am too.
So I mean, she was his rock. 67 years.
Jesus Christ! How old is he? 90?
By now,
probably.
Like he's in his late 80s at least.
Yeah. Because I always thought he was like around my dad's age. My dad would be 94 this year.
He always blew me away. That sumbitch would recognize me. I'd go 2-3 years without seeing him. I'd get haircuts and not see him. And as soon as I saw him, instead of me getting out the words, "Hey, how you doing?" he'd come up to me, call me by name, ask me about my mom, ask me about my grandma, ask me about the family. Never once did I run into that guy, even after years of not seeing him. And I changed dramatically. I mean, I went in the military and went from a long-haired hippie kid and went like 3 years without seeing him. And here I'm got a high and a tight when I see him again. And just in passing, and he's like, and before I even got out the words, "Hey, AJ," he's like, "Kyle, what are you doing?" I'm like, wow. You know,
well,
when
dude,
you see like 20,000 people a year.
Not on that level, but I saw Dennis Kitchen for the first time in 25 years ago. And he goes, "I know you, you're Bill." Yeah. And it freaked me out because, I mean, I guess we don't change as much as we think we do.
Yeah.
You know?
But AJ pegging me from like 16 to 40, that guy would spot me and know exactly who the hell I was. Like after 40, I've looked like this since I was 40, so there's been no change.
Right.
Like right down to this. This is what my wife wants me to grow. This is how long she wants me to grow it. So that's what I got.
Yeah.
So I have not changed. I've added 40 pounds, but I haven't changed much. You know, the cancer packed on a few lbs to me. So.
Did you lose weight from cancer?
No, I gained weight.
Oh, wow.
I gained weight. I didn't do chemo. I did radiation.
Oh, you didn't?
I did radiation and internal radiation surgeries and brachytherapy. If I'd have done chemo, I would have dropped the weight and everything with it. But I didn't have to go to chemo, and they didn't cut parts out of me. So I did the one that didn't take it. Well, the medications they have to give me actually packed on pounds. Wow. The medications they actually gave me early onset diabetes. So, and I'm reminded constantly of that because the new commercial in the loop is a new one of them where it says it spikes your blood sugars. You know, these medications that they address this with spikes your blood sugars. My blood sugars went from, 120 where they considered it, elevated, but nothing to really worry about, keep an eye on it for potential. And then after I started treatments and medication, it shot to the 400s.
Jeez.
Now it's back down to the under 120 again, but my medications are all but eliminated. I'm only on 2 low dose, considering, I used to be on triple the amount of medications to get it under control, but because if I'm taking one pill, I have to use another pill to counter it with what's going on. And if this shit flares up even a little bit, I'm fucked. There's no gray area. I'm either fine or I'm fucked, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
Because if it goes, it goes, and it goes.
I'm super sorry to hear that.
So that's why I came to grips with all my shit going on, because it's like, I could have died. I laughed.
You could have died like 10 times probably.
My prognosis for the surgeries I got and things like that in the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins and all that, the 5-year survival rate was 75 to 80%. Well, I'm at that now. I'm at the 5 years. Like in the next 6 months, I'm at 5 years.
So what's the closest you came to dying when you were in the military?
That's almost a hypothetical. I made my peace with God guys, 4 different times.
Check out. I've got a lot of work to do. I'll see you guys
later.
Right.
Well,
no, you're okay.
Cut out without you, so.
It took us 10 minutes to realize you were. Oh, he left.
Yeah, he had to go. He had to cut out, and he was losing signal. But there were 4 times in my service where I made my peace.
You never got fucked up though.
No, I had some issues.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
The times I thought I was going to die, it was a situational thing. If we would have got fragged, I would have died. Well, we didn't get fragged. It was a hypothetical. But I made my peace 4 different times. Now, outside of that, I've actually flatlined on the table before. But that's a whole 10-hour story. But no,
man.
I was as close as that mailbox is right there to me.
Yeah.
To 200 guys that wanted to kill me.
Fuck.
So I made my peace with God, because there,
hell, I would.
I could have gone out bold and taken a handful, maybe. It's all hypotheticals. But if they would have seen me, they would have made Swiss fucking cheese out of me.
And all we can say is thank God you had a hand grenade.
But and it was crazy. But there were 13 of us against. We counted 200 plus. They stopped counting at 200. We counted blocks again, and we did a quick reconnoiter, and we counted 200 plus and stopped at that, because it could have been like 196, 208,
easily
210, whatever.
Yeah.
It was in the ballpark of 200. It was a small regiment. There were 13 of us. We were massively undergunned. They were loaded to the gills. If they saw us, they would have cut us to pieces.
Oh, absolutely.
They would have cut us to pieces, because the only way we were gonna come out ahead is if we startled them and initiated and scared them away. Think of your larger force. But again, that's a hypothetical coin flip. Honestly, I made that peace with God, thought I miss my mommy, and God don't let the shit hit the fan today, and it didn't. So.
Right.
But I've been shot at a dozen times.
We were very, very fortunate.
Big fucking deal. I've been shot at in Indianapolis. You know what I mean? If I'm going to get hit, stray bullet.
It's going to happen one way or another.
You know?
Yeah.
But were we under heavy fire at any time? No.
Yeah.
Could I see scuds going overhead that I knew had chemical weapons in them? Yep.
Fuck yeah.
But were they close enough for me to worry about? Not really. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, scary. I wasn't happy about any of it. You know what I mean?
Well, who would be?
But
yeah, no, I get it.
I had a handful of times where I made my peace with God. When my mom got my debrief letter from the Pentagon, I should have her back on to tell that story. My mom was so pissed off at me. I told my whole family I was on the outskirts of shit going on. There's a big long story there, and I'd had to fly back home and travel incognito and do all this shit because of the terror watch list. But it was the long and short of it. It was a whole lot of nothing, and basically I just lied to my family and told them I never got knee deep in the shit. I said I got on the outskirts, but I never got knee deep in the shit. I got a debrief letter from the Pentagon. Now, my permanent address that I'd have with the military, like now I have a permanent address.
But at the time,
I can get in the military, but my permanent address at the time I just used as my mother's because I'd moving, I'd spend a year in this apartment, 2 years in this apartment. So my mom's was a permanent address, and I got it upstairs. I got this debrief letter, and it was from the Gulf War administration at the Pentagon, and it showed up at my mom's, and she freaked out and opened it up, and it was a debrief to some of the enemy contacts we had. And my mom called me having a fucking meltdown. She's like, you said you weren't near all this shit, and it named you by name, and you were here.
You were already out by that time, though, right?
Do what?
You were already out by then, right?
Yeah.
Well, then.
Yeah, but it was the Pentagon debrief from the Office of Gulf War Illness things, and guys that were coming down with it. And I kept telling my family, "Don't worry about it. I didn't see this. I didn't see that. I didn't see that." And this debrief letter said, "Well, since you were here, and these cases are coming out of here, and since you were here, and these cases are coming out of here, and since you were here, and these cases are coming out of here," she had a shit fit. She was like, "What the fuck is all this?" And I was like,
"Yeah, she wanted to kill you."
I was there. She's like,
"She wanted to kill you because
you lied about this and you lied about that." And I said, "Yeah, I wasn't there, but I just played it off. I was like, it just wasn't that bad. I didn't want my family fucking worrying about me.
No, of course not.
Fucking worrying about me."
And you came back, so
and I came back in one piece, and it wasn't a big deal, and everybody kept making a big deal out of it and annoy the shit out of me. And I tell you, for a year solid, I didn't buy a fucking drink. And if I'd have heard "God Bless the USA" by Lee Greenwood again, I'd have gone on a killing spree. Because I'd walk into a bar, they'd put it in the jukebox 10 times in a row and just buy me so much alcohol they'd have to carry me out. I just had to start telling people, quit buying me drinks, quit playing that fucking song, quit thanking me for my service. 10 times was more than plenty. Stop.
And that's such a fucking sucky song anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, it has a good sentiment.
Cute, but you can only take so much. But the whole redeeming thing, and I promise you, I'm damn near going to cry when I tell this story again. Every time I tell this story, I damn near cry. Only redeeming quality to the whole goddamn thing. We got back stateside. They threw us in buses. We rolled up to Washington, D.C., and they're like, you represent the United States, carry yourselves with great decorum, but soak this up, yada, yada, yada. And we're all fucking embarrassed. I mean, it was a joke. You hear my whole story on it. The whole goddamn thing was a joke. But they rolled us back to ticker tape fucking parades. And we all knew what it was. It was a guilty conscience carryover from Vietnam.
Well, fuck yeah, it was. And what else could it be?
The guys up front, there's all these VA guys, there's all these old Vietnam vets and their little, biker vest with all their purple heart things on it and stuff like that, and all them old guys, and they're up front cheering. They are front and center. And me and all my guys just were like, fuck this noise. We're like, guys, get over here. And the cops are trying to tell us, don't bring too many people in. We have this coordinated for this. And we're like, any vet fucking here, any vet, World War II vet, Korean War vet, Vietnam vets especially, and even the old guys were like, we got our parade and we pushed them. I'm gonna fucking cry. Look at the goosebumps on my arm. I'm gonna fucking cry telling this story.
You're already crying.
We brought these guys out of the crowd and they're just bawling their fucking eyes out. I mean,
you did it for them though. That's
and they were in tears and we're like, you soak this the fuck up. We had a couple of bad days. We went over there for like 6 months, less than 6 months. You know, it was a big fucking show of force. We had a couple scary days, and they'd all tell us, you know, we'll buy you drinks.
Didn't we only lose 30 people in that whole fight?
I don't want to go on for hours, but we lost more, but it was a whole lot of different shit.
Oh, okay.
But it was ridiculous. It was like Mike Tyson versus a kindergartner for fuck's sake.
Right. It was like Punch Out. The game.
I told people so many times and they didn't buy it. They're like, well, you know, the numbers are released and there's 150,000 NATO troops over there. I knew the fucking numbers. I saw the fucking intel numbers. I saw the S2, S3.
But
S4.
that doesn't change how you perceive
There were
yourself.
a fucking million of us. There were 1 million NATO related forces in this area. We did one push where I shit you not, you know, out in an open, flat desert area, if you look to your left, you can see 10 plus miles. If you look to your right, you can see 10 fucking plus miles. We are lined up side by side by side where it's maybe 10 feet between each vehicle, tank, 5 tons hauling howitzers, things like that. For as far as I could fucking see to the left, which cleared 10 miles, and as far as I could see to right, which cleared 10 miles, we were a rolling show of force that made people shit their pants and run the other direction.
Yeah.
And, you know, there were like 17 different countries in on this, you know, multiple regiments, Army, Navy, Air Force, ship flying overhead. You know, it was a big fucking flex. So the resistance was ridiculous. I mean, it happened and there were skirmishes and anybody forward, any of the FOs and stuff going on. Yeah, they saw some deep seated shit, but we were 15 miles out lobbing rounds. You know what I mean? We would pepper the fucking ground and go pick up body parts on our way going forward. It was fucking ridiculous. You know, and then they parked us on the outskirts of Baghdad and said, showed them muscle. Okay, go home. So we go home, and like my Uncle Bobby, who was the reason I went in the Marine Corps, did 2 tours of Vietnam, both hard. He basically saw a 1 month break broken up over a 2-year time span of tours where he just got shrapnel. He got 3 Purple Hearts, but he just kept going back in. He was loose screws in his head. The man got out of the Marine Corps with 6 fucking medals. Now, granted, one was 3 purple. I mean, he had 3 Purple Hearts, so I guess I
Jesus.
medals. But he got out with 6 fucking medals. I got out with 11. I was so goddamn embarrassed by that. You know, he had 6 fucking awards. I had 11. I did 4 relatively easy. He did 4 insanely fucking hard. So I knew when we could go grab these Nam guys and go, you know, you didn't get this fucking parade. You get this fucking parade. And we just kept backing up. We'd walk behind him, but we let everybody know you're cheering for these motherfuckers.
Not us.
Period. Don't cheer for me. You know, I had a couple of bad fucking days. And yet every one of them son bitches, because I knew vets from World War I up since I was a kid, and they all said the same goddamn thing. You get shot at once, you're a vet.
I got shot at once.
Look at him. I look at him like a poser. I'm like, you know, I don't
want to hear something weird.
What's that?
I was in Kuwait for 48 hours during that period as a civilian, but working for the military.
I was gonna say you doing one of them airplane hops because every goddamn airplane. I didn't even know.
No. It was weird. They actually, I think we may have actually the research institute I worked for may have had a contract with Kuwait. They wanted me to do an evaluation on combat camera, which I'm sure you know of, right?
Yeah.
That's the military. Yeah. And so I actually went with them because there was nothing really happening those days. And then, of course, 2 minutes into us walking out in the middle of shit, we got shot at. And you know what? I didn't even really realize it was happening. I'm sure I did at some, but there were 3 shots. Nobody thankfully got hit. And I think they were more warning shots. They went off right by us. And the first thing I thought of was fireworks.
Yeah, like a loose sniper, somebody off in the distance.
Yeah, but the gunfire was hitting rocks, and they were blowing up like fireworks would have. And so it didn't. And I've never been in live fire, so I had no idea. And about 10 minutes later, it hit me, and that I didn't get hit, and it did a fucking number on me. And then it made me realize how important PTSD issues are. And honestly, mine is not, I'm going to tell everybody outright, that's not a PTSD issue for me. It might be psychologically, and maybe that's what it is in the first place, but seriously, it's still such like a dreamlike state for me. I don't think of it I don't think it impacted me that way. It may have, but I don't think it did.
I'm guessing you're well aware of this, but you've seen 84 Charlie Mopek, right?
What's that?
84 Charlie Mopek.
What's that?
84 Charlie is the combat cameraman, Mopek for motion picture.
Oh, it's
a documentary about the guy.
Oh, I've never seen it. No. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
no.
They got off the helicopter, came under fire, and he was shot as soon as they got off, and he continued firing, and he actually filmed an entire firefight.
Oh yeah.
Look up 84 Charlie Mopek.
I know who the guy is. I didn't know there was doc on him. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
kick ass? Yeah, no, he's the patron saint of combat photography. He's still alive, isn't he?
Last I knew he was. But my funny PTSD story, because I've never and never will claim PTSD, but my funniest fucking story was right after I moved in with my wife, but before we got married. We're in this side of the house, and the kid's a couple of rooms away, and he's got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work at Waffle House on a weekend while he's still in school. And he's hard to get up, so we'd have alarms and things and set. And I was sound asleep, but with one eye open, because I knew I ended up having to get up at like 4 a.m. to get him up. And he had messed with his alarms, and one of the alarms on his phone at the time happened to be this Auga kind of alarm it's kind of a cross between an Auga and like a British siren. It was the exact sound of incoming chemical weapons.
Right.
It was the exact sound.
Well, that would trigger anybody.
It was off in the distance, and I'm laying in bed with my wife, and that thing goes off. I spring out of bed, scared the living shit out of her, hit my feet, butt-ass naked, and I'm reaching for my mop gear. And my wife's like, what the fuck's going on? Because you can barely hear it at the other end of he's like 3 rooms away, and you can barely hear it. But I caught wind of that even a little bit and sat straight the fuck up and jumped up out of bed. And when I realized what it was, I'm standing there with my dick dangling, laughing my ass off. My wife's sweating bullets trying to figure out what's going on. And I said, he's got to change that fucking alarm. Because last time I heard that alarm, that's coming in with chemical weapons on them. And I scared the living because you get used to that. If you hear a loud boom, you're up. You just go. It's grab your gun and go. And it's built in.
That's gotta be just hard as fuck.
But that alarm went off, and I just kick flipped out of fucking bed. I did a kip up out of bed, landed on my feet, butt ass naked, and I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm not there. I got to do that. I laugh
So,
about
folks,
it 12 years later.
So, folks, we now know that Kyle's.
We now know that I what? You just.
We now know that you sleep in the nude.
Oh yeah.
You said you jumped out of bed, but
Yeah,
I do too. Not that
naked.
anyone wanted to know that about either one of us, but I feel like.
But yeah, I mean, anything I got that resembles PTSD, I fucking laugh at. And anytime anybody,
that's harsh. That's harsh. Hey man,
anytime anybody says they want to give me something from my service, I say go find the kids that did the more recent shit that came back with body parts missing.
Yep.
Don't give me a comic. Don't donate. If you're gonna donate to this in my name. Don't give me a goddamn thing.
Exactly.
I don't deserve it. You know, I buckled and I took out a VA loan for this house. I've done a few VA things, but I go out of my fucking way to go. I came back in one piece. Give your money and charity to people that
You're
did.
very lucky. Well, on that note, it's 4:40, so
Graham probably fell asleep. So
so we're gonna sign off for this week. But we hope to see you next week on the old Geeky Weekly.
And JMD Mateus is coming up. Now I can't remember the date, the 29th.
It's the 26th.
26th. So
yeah.
You're welcome, James. I just went and
told
some of my dumb stories again. I veer off topic and tell my dumb stories, but
hey man, I hope you have a great week.
And Mark always goes, I've heard all these stories, and I'm like, man, you have heard maybe 10% of my stories.
Yeah, you haven't heard them all.
Maybe 15. Because I don't tell. If like Nev says, if they're dead or I don't work for them anymore, I'll talk about it all day long. If they're not dead, or I'm going to talk about somebody that's alive or something that's embarrassing or something that could have, hurt my wife's feelings, I'm not going to fucking talk about it.
Of course not.
Ever online. So when people go, well, you tell all these grand stories, it's like, I have not told shit.
No, not compared to what you have.
I have not told shit to the stories I could tell.
No.
I have told this much. I've told some real interesting ones, but I've told this much of what I can tell.
Far.
But a lot of stupid shit anyway, but people seem to like them. But it's like,
so stay tuned, folks. You'll see so much more. If I ever
told these stories, and there's a lot of them I'll never tell because I'm happily married. My wife doesn't need to hear me telling stories. For years I run about some people I've had escapades with throughout my life, but it's almost a gag to me. I know some things.
No, I understand.
So it's almost a gag, but.
So, man, until next week, live long and prosper, folks.
Yeah.
We'll see how that can be seen.
All the above. Let's see if we can do the old alligator, live long and prosper.
Now I can't get coordinated. Thanks, Kyle. See you next week, buddy.
And there's some shrapnel woundage right there. See that nice big fat fucking scar where I almost lost my finger.
Jeez, man.
Which again, I told my mom was nothing. I don't talk. Now I don't care. Now it's 30 years later.
Yeah, she didn't know it's
that's where they sewed my goddamn finger back on. Yeah, hey, man, maybe one day I'll dig out. I want to dig out that debrief letter because I love telling that fucking story of how mad that made my mom.
That's so great.
She was fucking fuming.
Well, you're alive, so it's funny.
She was shaking mad.
Yeah, she should have kicked your ass.
You lied about this, and you lied about that. Because I kept telling them, don't make a big deal, don't do this, don't do that. And then she went out and started buying me Desert Storm stuff. And I'm like, thanks, but I don't. I don't need it. But when she saw that debrief letter, she shit a brick. I'm just yammering on, waiting for Graham to cut the live feed, but he ain't cut it yet. No.
Well, until next week, guys, I'm out. And Kyle, I love you, pal. See you, buddy.
See you later, Bill. I ain't sticking around no more. I got to pee and I'm in a ton of pain. So thanks for hanging out, James, and everybody watching. See you guys later.